Welcome back to Walden Grove High School as the Walden Grove Marching Band has just finished up the national anthem, and we are about set for tonight's action between the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets and the Walden Grove Red Wolves. A lot of sights and sounds coming to you this evening. I want to thank, of course, the White Mountain Youth Productions and Sholo TV for bringing you live video coverage of tonight's contest on iTalk 1067.com. Sky Perez, the technical director, and Isaiah Miller, our audio and graphics coordinator. We will have the coin toss here for you in just a minute. Want to also remind you that tonight's high school football is presented by Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Sholo, simply the best in service and sales. As the team captains are waiting, we will bring you the coin toss. Want to thank Corbin Everingham for being our field effect mic guy this evening. I guess you call it evening.
Yeah, absolutely. It's dark, so it's got to be.
It's not quite night. Maybe it's night. All right.
And by the way, Corbin's very well rested, having slept on the drive down, so he should be rocking and rolling tonight.
Gentlemen, tonight as captains, you were elected captains to take care of your teams. Please do so this evening, okay?
Team captains are in center field for the coin toss.
That is our head referee, Bob Bertognosi.
I'm going to flip this Kennedy head. Heads, tails. Heads, tails. Okay? I'm going to let it hit the ground. Good call. Tails. Calls tails.
Tails is called.
And it is a tail. You won. Toss.
Blue Ridge has won the toss.
Okay, so just a minute. Okay, so Blue Ridge has won the toss and elected to defer.
All right, there you go. There you have it. Blue Ridge has won the toss. They've elected to defer, and I'm sure Walden Grove will choose to receive the ball to start the first half. Blue Ridge will have the ball coming out at halftime, and so punt probably pretty important for Walden Grove to come out and establish themselves on this first drive. You know, both teams are obviously looking for the same thing,
right?
But not both of them can have it.
Right, absolutely. You know, you want to set the momentum as early as you can, and you know, when you receive that kickoff, whether it's Blue Ridge or Walden Grove, they're going to want to drive the ball, you know, and be effective offensively. The key, again, for Blue Ridge, I think, on the defensive front is just to see how well they can stifle that running game, which we heard from Brendan at the top of the game. We can expect both teams wanting to certainly establish the running game, so that'll be a key for Blue Ridge here early on the first drive.
Captains for the Yellow Jackets, Lane Penrod, Julio Rangel, Dominic West, and Ryan Eccles, I believe.
Right.
Were the four captains for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. We are just about set for the Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it comes time to kick off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona, Northland Pioneer College. The Yellow Jackets have broken their huddle. Walden Grove is going to be defending your radio right, be moving right to left. And who is going to do the kicking duties for the Yellow Jackets, Punt?
I'm not sure, honestly. We'll have to wait and see when they get out here. And Walden Grove, with these newfangled uniforms, the fancy uniforms that everyone likes, they've got dark colors on a dark uniform, so it's going to be difficult for us to pick up numbers, but it looks like Travis Shannon, number 2, will be back to receive.
And the glare on the windows doesn't help.
Yeah, and I can't even begin to tell what the other numbers is, but
well, we'll see how the Blue Yellow Jackets come out after a bye week last week, where they got to watch other region teams. Although Sholo had a bye. No, Sholo played Chinle last week. They were victorious, 47-0.
Luis Rosales will be the kicker for Blue Ridge.
Back deep to receive will be Travis Shannon and I believe David Hoover. And we are set for kickoff. Rosales has it teed up at the 40, near hash. High end over end kick, hits on a bounce, and picked up at the 10 by Hoover. Hoover chasing to the far side bound. He's chased out of bounds about 22, 23 yard line. And excuse me, that was Shannon. for the Red Wolves, and the Red Wolves will start their first offensive series at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10 on the near hash, running right to left.
Well, and Julio Randall, number 24 for Blue Ridge, doing a great job outside contain on that kickoff, forcing the receiver of the kickoff to just basically run out of bounds, as you say.
And it does look like the starting quarterback, Carlos Guerrero, will start off in the shotgun. I take that back. He's going to go up under center. I-backs behind him. One pro set with receiver wide out to each side. Take the snap, give to the deep man through. Falls forward across to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 2. Looks like that was Lewis Joseph, not sure.
Number 21 for Blue Ridge, Lane Penrod, their inside linebacker, coming up strong to fill that gap to make the tackle along with the defensive front. So good job by Blue Ridge defensive line, just submarining and staying tough and filling those gaps up front.
Kilgore, the up man for the Red Wolves. Give to the deep man, though. That's Lewis again. Lewis Joseph. This time bounces off tacklers. Picks up another 5 yards. Going to set up a 3rd down and short for Walden Grove.
Well, and a better gain that time because the tackle made by Tristan Johnson, the safety. Anytime you see a safety, you have to come up and make a tackle. You know there's a little bit better gain. So that'll leave just a 3 yards here for Walden Grove with 3rd down to try to get a 1st down.
That is the smallest down marker I think I've ever seen as well. 3rd down and 3. Walden Grove. Give to the first man through. That's Kilgore. He's got room up the middle, across the 40 to the 45, and knocked down finally at the 50 midfield stripe. And a big 1st down for Walden Grove, a Horn Auto Center 1st down.
Yeah, big, as you say, a quick hitter. You know, they give to Kilgore quickly up the line and then carry through with a fake to the outside, but Kilgore able to blow through that big hole set by the offensive line on the left side. So a great job by the offensive line for Walden Grove opening that big hole.
On 1st and 10, Guerrero takes the snap, give it to the deep man, new runner, bounces off the right side up the middle, but then bounces off the right side. That is Aaron Rojas, and he's got a good 1st down gain to the Blue Ridge 45, going to set up a 2nd down and 4.
Well, they start up the middle on that rush, but he finds space out over the tackle on the right side, makes a good cut. Able to get a pretty good gain with, again, the safeties having to come up and make that tackle for Blue Ridge.
On 2nd down and 4. I-backs again behind Guerrero. Give to the deep man through. That's Rojas, hit immediately at the line of scrimmage, but he does fight forward. I believe the ball is loose.
Like
Blue Ridge might have it.
Yep.
Julio Rangel, the 1st man through for the Yellow Jackets, and I think he recovered it.
Yeah, you can see it's hard for us to see from up here in the press box, but you can see that Blue Ridge bench start jumping and applauding. So clearly a strip up in that mass of bodies, and Blue Ridge able to cut the ball loose and jump on it. So they start with pretty good field position here on their first possession.
Big momentum shift as Walden Grove was marching down the field, and a huge break for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. So on 1st and 10, Wilkening under center. Offset, wing back behind him, sends a man in motion. That's Nick Jones. Give to the 1st man, Devere on the option. He's got room. It's Tristan Johnson. He's loose at the 45, the 40. Finally tackled inside the Walden Grove 35, and they're going to mark him right at the 35, but it is enough for the Horn Auto Center 1st down for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, and a huge pickup on their first play on offense.
Big pickup, and just great wall blocking on that right side by the Blue Ridge offensive line, and that slot back going in motion, also helping to pinch in that defensive end and giving all kinds of room for Tristan Johnson for that first big game.
Johnson will remain in the backfield along with Lane Penrod. Wilkening changing things up now, moving Timmy Entrick to the far side. Trip set on the far side of the field. Offset eye behind Wilkening. Now sends Penrod in motion as a 4th receiver. Take the snap, pitch it to Johnson. Johnson trying to get to the outside, does get through the first wall of defenders and is inside the 30 and is going to be very close to the 1st down. Another pickup of 8 for Johnson and 2 big carries on his first 2 touches.
Well, you can see Blue Ridge in their motion and moving Timmy Entrican, the tight end, over to the split side with the wide receiver. They were loading up that left side of the field and then just do the quick pitch left with all those blockers out there. So clearly Blue Ridge looking for their advantages early here and how to exploit that Walden Grove defense.
This time they put McCray and Johnson as a split out. They throw to Johnson and it's incomplete. Wilkening led him a little too far. Obviously, no secret what the Jacket game plan is that's get it into Tristan Johnson's hands.
Yeah, and they're going wide. I think they obviously feel they can exploit the outside against this Walden Grove defense.
Perhaps choosing speed over size.
Right, exactly. Maybe Wilkening just a little early on his release, and as you say, a hard ball to catch. But, you know, that looked like it had space had they completed that.
Wing right now for the Yellow Jackets. And Wilkening gives the first man through. That's Johnson again. He has enough for the first down. Another Horn Auto Center first down for the Yellow Jackets as they keep the chains moving.
Yep, and, you know, nothing fancy, Mike. You know, just straight ahead, hard-nosed football, handing off to Johnson off that right tackle. But, you know, we talked about one of the keys for this game with Blue Ridge is the line play, and so far they're doing a great job of just getting that initial surge at the line of scrimmage and giving space to those running backs.
Ball at the 23-yard line of Walden Grove. Take the snap. Jackets give it to Lane Penrod, his first carry up the middle. And not much doing there. Ball's in the red zone, though, at the 19-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play. And with 7 minutes and 42 seconds to go, our score 0-0. That scoreboard update brought to you by Black Diamond Auto Glass.
And as you say,
Blue Ridge has not gone to the air, really.
Right, not a huge gain, you know, a 3-yard gain, but, you know, from a Blue Ridge standpoint, I think they feel like they feel comfortable taking that. Just pound away.
Nick Jones lines up wide right, wing right as well. One back in the backfield, that's Penrod. And give it to him, and he tries the right side, does get positive yards. Defensive end does a great job of closing up that hole. That is Reese Need, I believe. The senior tight end and linebacker making the tackle, but not before Penrod has another 4 yards. Going to set up a 3rd and 3 situation for the Yellow Jackets. We'll see if they put it in the air or keep it on the ground.
As you say, Reese Need doing a great job on that defensive end, sliding down quickly to get Penrod, but not after he gains another 4 yards. So putting Blue Ridge in a good place here to try to get the first down.
Now they try the left side, same formation. Give it to Penrod again, and it's going to be very close. It will depend on the spot as to whether or not they got the first down. The yard to make was the 13-yard line, and I think he's going to be just about a yard short. It's going to be 4th and 1.
Yeah, they're going to call it 4th down.
Oh, they're going to say 4th and 2. Just got back barely to the line of scrimmage. Oh, now the down marker moves. So we'll call it 4th and a long 1. Jackets in that region where it might be just a hair long for a field goal try, so they're going to go ahead and go for it here. Johnson and Penrod in the backfield in I-backs behind Wilkening. Double tight set. Give to Johnson on the left side, and he is hammered. But he may have enough for the first down. It's going to depend on the spot.
Yep, they're going to give them the first down, but as you say, Mike, that either a linebacker, it's hard to see, again, the numbers on this Walden Grove team because of the dark on dark, but either a linebacker, inside linebacker, or a safety even coming up and hitting Johnson right after he crossed the line of scrimmage. But credit Tristan Johnson for the effort to get the first down.
And that first down, again, brought to you by Horn Auto Center. Jackets go trips right. Penrod, the lone man in the backfield. He gets the pitch wide right. Now cuts it up inside and gets positive yardage inside the 10. The pile pushing to the 5. The Yellow Jackets in there. Whistle has not blown, and we finally get a blown whistle. That is the longest forward progress stop I think I've ever heard of.
Yeah, their referees are letting these guys play for sure on that pile. But, you know, that's a great cut by Lane Penrod. He gets that pitch, makes it look like he's going out wide, and then you have that pulling tackle or guard, and he cuts underneath quickly and finds some good space inside there. And just a great run by Lane Penrod despite the pile. And puts them in a good position here.
Yeah, gain of 6. Ball spotted just inside the 5-yard line of Walden Grove. Jackets in business. Wilkening. Offset backs behind him. Give to the first man through. That's Johnson. Not a whole lot doing. Red Wolves right there defensively. Pickup of 2. to the 3-yard line. Going to be third down and 2.
And again, just straight ahead rushing game from Blue Ridge, as we would expect. You know, that time running the veer, trying to option that defensive end.
Well, I got to believe at some point here they're setting up the quarterback keeper, as Wilkenine takes a long time getting the play from the sideline. Now breaks the huddle. Nick Baker, the senior center for the Yellow Jackets. As Wilkenine sends 3 receivers left, now pitch it to Penrod. He's going to try to cut back up inside, does so, and the Jackets can get a first down without getting in the end zone.
It looks like he will be very close from the mark that we see on the line judge.
And
they're going to call it fourth.
Well, they stopped the clock. Are they going to measure? The official wants to look at it. He has stopped the clock. And that is a first down.
They're going to give him the first down.
Horn Auto Center first down for the Yellow Jackets. That's about 5 for them on this drive.
Yeah, very good job so far. Just patiently, typical Blue Ridge football, you know, nothing really fancy, just slugging away at the line of scrimmage and getting the gains when they need them. That time, Lane Penrod slipped on his initial cut, but was able to get his feet underneath him, and credit him for just driving ahead to get that first down.
High backs behind Wilkenine. Take the snap. Give it to the first man through. That's Johnson. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. From 3 yards out, Tristan Johnson again on the veer option, and the Jackets strike first here with 3 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the first quarter. They are up 6-0 against Walden Grove. Again, that scoreboard report brought to you by Black Diamond Auto Glass. And let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. Brandon?
Well, my comment's kind of void now, but what's interesting is before that touchdown run, when we were debating whether it was a first or fourth down, the side judge running in had her hand up in the fist, which is signaling fourth down. When they spotted the ball, the white cap take a look and said, nope, first down. So that's an interesting there how the side judge was saying fourth down running in, and then they switched it without even measuring.
And the extra point, thank you very much, Brandon, for that report. We'll keep an eye on that as the Jackets tack one on. The extra point is good. And with, again, 3:32 to go, the Jackets on top over Walden Grove, 7-0. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. We'll be right back.
There's no better time to visit Horn Auto Center. Check out the all-new Chevy Silverado. Voted 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Strong for all the roads ahead. Or find new roads with the all-new Corvette Stingray. Voted the 2014 North American Car of the Year. Visit Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs in Show Low across from Safeway and at hornauto.com. You're at home with Horn since 1991.
Welcome back to Walden Grove High School for the iTalk 106.7 Game of the Week. And on the kickoff, Luis Rosales put boot into it, and Dominic West for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets makes a big stop here on the near sideline. But Walden Grove will have decent field position, 1st and 10 from their own 32.
Well, that's a tackle that gets oohs and ahs from the crowd here on the Walden Grove side, so you know it was a big hit.
Guerrero stays in at quarterback, now going to the shotgun. In the backfield to his right is Joseph. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left, no tight ends for Walden Grove. Give it to Joseph, trying up the middle, and gets out of 1 tackle, drags 2 tacklers with him, and picks up 6 on first down.
Well, out of that spread formation, they do a draw to Joseph, and he dances around some initial contact at the line of scrimmage, but credit him for just finding the space where he can get it and knocking off a pretty good gain here on that first play.
So Guerrero gives instructions to the line, stays in the shotgun. Same formation with 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Takes the shotgun snap, going to try Joseph again up the middle, and this time nothing doing as he maybe picks up a yard. first man through looked like Nick Baker to make the tackle for the Yellow Jackets.
And also maybe an outside stunt by that outside linebacker helping as well to close off that Joseph. We got a player down. I'm not sure if it is Joseph.
It is Joseph. And he is down. No, I don't think it is, actually, now that I look at it. No, it is not Joseph.
And again, these numbers with Walden Grove, we have black numbers on really, really dark maroon jerseys, so it's difficult for us to pick up.
I believe it is Carlos Drum for Walden Grove. He's a junior, 5'10", 230-pound lineman.
And they're
looks like cramping, perhaps.
Either cramping or his ankle. Probably cramping.
Yeah, they're stretching him out.
Yeah.
They're stretching him out. So the Yellow Jackets again on top, 7-0 if you just tuned in. Walden Grove had a fairly good first drive going. Ended up fumbling the ball in Jacket territory. Jackets proceeded to go about 60 yards and get the first touchdown of the game.
Yeah, a big turnover for the Jackets. Not only, as you say, Mike, putting to rest a pretty good drive by Walden Grove on their first possession, but then turning around and just patiently executing the rushing game, which we knew would be part of the game plan for them tonight. And just in typical Blue Ridge fashion, just taking yards where they can get them and driving back. And that's a big momentum shift for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets after stopping that initial drive and then turning around and scoring.
So Carlos Drum comes off the field under his own power, but we'll see the trainers. Guerrero goes back under center, offset eye behind him. Looking to give the first man through, a little counter play, and it is stuffed up the middle. Once again, Drew Baker right there, the first man through. And it's good. That handoff went to Kilgore, and he lost a yard. It's going to bring up 4th down and 3 for Walden Grove.
And we also see Julio Rangel, the inside linebacker, blitzing the gap and able to close off that rush as well. So just great team defense there by the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets.
On 4th down, Walden Grove goes into the punt formation. I can't tell you who's back to receive because we can't see his number.
I think that's Tristan Johnson.
Tristan Johnson, fumble snap, and punter gets away a good one. He lost the snap, takes a Blue Ridge Yellow Jacket bounce, and he'll be down at the 39-yard line in Blue Ridge territory. Walden Grove punter, number 7, Fred Ituli, does a great job of taking that bad snap and still getting off a fairly decent punt.
Yeah, amazing job. It looked for a minute there like he was going to get swamped by the defenders for Blue Ridge that were rushing, but somehow just able to get that kick off. So just outstanding job.
So Blue Ridge will have it 1st and 10 as we are in the closing moments of the first quarter. They lead 7-0. Under center, Wilkening, I-backs behind him. Take the snap, give it to the deep man, that's Rosales. Rosales trying room off the left tackle, hit there, still fighting forward, and is finally brought down at the 42-yard line by a host of Red Wolves. Call it a pickup of 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Rosales, just a sophomore, 5'11", 175, but just as you say, Mike, he's wrapped up not too far past the line of scrimmage down by his ankles, but he just kept moving those feet and able to gain another yard or 2.
He will stay in the backfield with Lane Penrod. Wilkening goes under center, wing left. Wilkening goes with the option to Rosales, and he is hit inside the 35, the 40 to the 36. Another pickup of 3 as the Jackets continue to just, 3 or 4 yards in a cloud of dust, and they're able to keep the ball moving forward.
Yeah, they're doing a great job up front. We talked about, again, not to keep reiterating, but the line play we thought would be a key tonight, and you got to credit that Blue Ridge line. They're a little bit smaller than the Walden Grove front. Actually quite a bit smaller, but just doing a great job.
Once again, wing to the left. Wilkening going to ride that option again. Gives it to the first man through, and it's going to depend on the spot as we are very near midfield. That's Rosales on the carry. They are going to give him enough for the Horn Auto Center 1st down for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets at midfield.
Yeah, right at the 50. So good job again. You get that initial line surge to open the hole, and then credit Rosales, staying tough, just keeping those feet moving and able to grind away for that extra half yard, which in this case makes a huge difference.
And so the Yellow Jackets keep things moving. I don't think we're going to get this last snap off. We are under 13 seconds in the first half, but Wilkening does break the huddle. Sends Entrican wide right. Tight slot formation on the right side. Offset backs, now send Penrod in motion, but they're not going to get it off. That's the end of the first quarter. Our score. The Blue Ridge Yellow Jack. Oh, excuse me.
We got a flag.
We got a flag.
Delay
of game. That's interesting. But that is going to be the last play of the quarter. Our score, the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets 7, Walden Grove Red Wolves 0. You're listening to high school football presented by Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. We'll be back.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Welcome back to Sahuarita, Arizona, and Walden Grove High School. Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets take a delay of game penalty, I think. And we have a timeout by the official. They got to sort things out. I think the chains are in the wrong place.
Well, they have the clock to start the second quarter as well. So either they're letting them run the last play of the first quarter because they're going the same direction. I'm not sure what's happening here.
Yeah, I think the chains are going the wrong way, though. They never reset the chains.
Okay.
And they didn't switch sides of the field yet, right?
Right.
What is going on? Yeah, the chains are on. The chains never set in the right direction because they got to run one more play for the first quarter. I don't know why we took a break, why the officials took a break if we still have one more play to run officially for the first quarter. So we may have another timeout here coming up.
Right.
Jackets have to run one more play. Wilkening goes under center. Entrican the wide out to the near side. Tight slot also on the right. Send Penrod in motion to that right side. Take the snap. Pitch it to Johnson, the deep man. And gets out of one tackler and cannot get out of the second. He's run out of bounds. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage. A pickup of 1 on the play. And that will now be the last play of the first quarter. And the teams will get another break. And they will hopefully this time switch sides of the ball. We will take a break with them. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
Folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
Welcome back to Walden Grove High School. Jackets will flip sides of the field and have the ball at their own 45-yard line. Second down and 10. Wait a minute, that's not right either. Is it? Okay, no. So he got 5 yards on the last play to Chris Johnson. Jackets come out in a slot formation. Trips left. One back in the backfield. Wilkening looking and hands off to Lane Penrod. He's got room off the right side across the 45. Finally tackled at the 40. Going to be about a yard short of the first down. Going to bring up 3rd down and 1.
Well, as you say, Mike, they load that left side with trips, and then Lane Penrod countering back across to the right side. And just knocking off a big gain. They're able to get through the line of scrimmage cleanly and not even touched until the linebackers' safeties pick him up. But again, just short of a first down here.
So we have some explaining going on to the Walden Grove coach, Coach May. I kind of thought things looked a little weird too. I thought they gave the Jackets an extra 5 yards. but we don't have a stat man tonight.
Or a spotter.
So we go with what the white hat says, and he says it's third down. Clock running, 11:41 to go. Jackets spread the defense out wide. Wilkening going with the option, and he keeps it. No, he gives it the first man through, but they're going to say forward progress took him to the 40-yard line, and it is going to be close.
It's going to be very close. And it looks like from the mark.
The officiating crew looks a little discombobulated.
I mean, they're right on the line there. I wouldn't be surprised they pull the chains out. No, they're going to call it fourth down.
Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd, who has a better view of this situation.
Well, Mike, discombobulated might put it lightly. I don't know if this is their first time working together, or maybe it's all their first time on the field. But the sideline judge that I'm on the Blue Ridge side. She was running in, holding up second down when it should have been third. Actually, her and the white cap had words exchanged. It seems like discombobulated might be a light word to use here.
This time the Jackets run the option again, and the ball is loose, and Walden Grove has recovered it. The Jackets lay one down on the exchange from Wilkening to Johnson, and Walden Grove has stopped this Yellow Jacket drive. The yardage, they had enough yardage, did the Yellow Jackets, but they cough it up. The turnovers now one apiece.
Yeah, Tristan Johnson definitely had room, as you say, Mike. He looked like he was forging ahead, just moving his feet, but apparently the defender's reaching in and pulling that ball loose, and Walden Grove comes up with a big turnover here with, again, Blue Ridge mounting a fairly decent drive, moving into Walden Grove territory. So a big turnover for Walden Grove.
Ball will be spotted at the Walden Grove 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Red Wolves in business. Guerrero stays in at center, under center. Ibach's behind him. Take the snap, give it to the deep man. Has room off left side across the 40 to the 45, and finally brought down at the 46-yard line after a pickup of 11, and a Horn Auto Center first down for Walden Grove.
Well, one of their better runs for the night, Walden Grove, with that execution off the left side, finding space. Good line surge up front, and obviously opening up a big hole.
And that was Aaron Rojas, the ball carrier for Walden Grove. As the Red Wolves break the huddle, Adrian Chapman lines up wide to the near side, another receiver wide left. Guerrero under center. Take the snap, give it to the deep man. That's Joseph. He bounces it outside, trying to get the corner. He does. He's across midfield to the 45. He's got room down the sideline at the 30, and finally knocked out of bounds by the Yellow Jackets, Nick Jones. But after a huge run for Joseph, he finally broke one, and Walden Grove is in the Yellow Jacket territory at the 28.
Well, the key with that run, as you say, Mike, was the bounce that Joseph made. You know, he goes up straight up field as he crosses the defensive end and then pulls in the corner in the process for Blue Ridge, and then was able to bounce outside and make that huge gain. So a great run by Joseph.
Chapman wide to the near side. Raheda wide on the far side. Ibach's behind Guerrero as he surveys the line. Takes the snap. Give it to the first man. That's Kilgore, and he is hit immediately. Does fight for a yard, but not much more as he is brought down there. First man through for the Yellow Jackets, I believe, was big number 74, Ryan Eccles.
53, Nick Baker, also coming up. We saw him just blow through that gap and make initial contact. At first, didn't look like he would be able to bring down the runner, but just stays tough and hangs on. And great job by Nick Baker, just staying tough and bringing down with assist on the tackle.
Walden Grove, they're going to call it 2nd down and 10. Guerrero barking instructions. Pro set. Ibach's. Give it to the deep man. No, they fake it, and they want to pass. Going over the middle, deep. Has a man in the end zone, and it's just overthrown. Trying to make the catch out there was Philip Grajeda. Made a dive for it as the defender was beat. It'll be falling incomplete, though. Bring up 3rd down and 10.
So they take the wide out across on a post route. Blaine Hiegebach for Blue Ridge fell underneath just a little bit, and not too bad of a pass, maybe a little too far out front, but definitely, you know, a situation there where you could see Walden Grove wanting to hit in the end zone, had a little bit of space, just couldn't pull it off.
So Guerrero will go to the shotgun. One back in the backfield, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. 3rd and 10. And we have movement. No, we have a timeout. Timeout, Blue Ridge. didn't like what they saw, and they just got the timeout before the snap. We will take it with them. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. Welcome back to Walden Grove High School. Walden Grove trying to take advantage of a Blue Ridge turnover with 9:14 to go in the first half. Yellow Jackets on top 7-0. But Walden Grove has it in Jacket territory. Facing a 3rd and long situation though. Mike Granillo here with Punt Cooley. Brandon Todd on the sideline bringing you live high school action, football action, as Walden Grove breaks the huddle. Joseph going to be in the backfield to Guerrero's right. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Draw or pass going to happen here for Walden Grove. Take the snap, looking to throw left. Getting flushed out of the pocket now. Here comes the pressure, and he dumps it off. No receiver in the area, really. We'll see if they get an intentional grounding. No flag came out. It's going to be 4th down as it's incomplete.
Well, the nearest receiver, number 9, Philip Grajeda, coming up the sideline quickly to try to close in on that short pass. But as you say, Mike, that was pretty, I think more than anything, just Guerrero being smart, just trying to dump because he was getting pressure from the outside and could see the sack coming. So a smart play by him.
Unintentional, intentional grounding. So now Walden Grove has a decision to make. They're going to call a timeout. We'll keep it here. As big decision time for Walden Grove. Ball spotted inside the 30, Yellow Jacket 30 at about the 27-yard line, which would make it a 44-yard field goal. I don't know if anybody on Walden Grove has that kind of leg. Most high schoolers, that's a pretty long field goal try, especially down here in the lower altitude.
That's big time for
but
sure.
If you don't make it, you give the Yellow Jackets decent field position, and only 9 minutes left in the second quarter.
Right, and really the contrast of the game so far offensively for either team. You know, we've seen Blue Ridge, just typical fashion, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, 4 yards in a cloud of dust, punching away up the middle and getting some outside runs as well. Whereas Walden Grove, for the most part, their offensive production have been on big runs. You know, we've seen 10, 12-yard clips, but not as consistently chipping away as the Blue Ridge offense. So it'll be interesting to see what they call here with 4th and 10.
Kilgore in the backfield with Joseph. Guerrero under center. 1 receiver wide at each side. Guerrero takes a snap. He's looking to throw. Drops straight, looking in the middle. Has a man, and it is intercepted. No, it is dropped. Yellow Jacket defender back there had a good play on it. That is Blaine Hebuck. He got beat the first time. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
Yep.
And he almost came up with an interception.
And good support also from the safety, Tristan Johnson, coming across. We saw him leap up and try to swat that pass as it was coming down. But regardless, Blue Ridge, as you say, Mike, getting decent field position here, just shy of the 30 with a lot of time left.
On the turnover on downs, Jackets have it at the 27. Ibacks in the backfield behind Wilkening. Take the snap. He's looking to pass. First attempt tonight. Rolls left, throws, and the ball's batted down. Big defensive end there for Walden Grove. Knocks that one down as Wilkening, the lefty, rolling to the right, had to throw back across his body and could not find a lane.
David Hoover, number 21, that defensive end, Mike, that you had mentioned, a tall kid to start with. Once he jumps up and stretches those long arms, that's difficult for any quarterback to get around.
So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. Clock stopped with just under 9 minutes to go. And Jackets send a receiver wide to the left side. That's Josh McCray. Offset backs behind Wilkening. Veer option. Wilkening gives to the first man through. I believe that is Johnson. And Johnson he falls forward. for a couple yards. Excuse me, that's Rosales on the carry. Pickup of 2 on the play.
Yeah, and just no room there for Rosales. They're running that veer option with the dive back getting the ball, and just no room in that A gap whatsoever. Good defensive front play by Walden Grove to just shut down those gaps up front.
So on third down and 9. Jackets again send McCray wide left. Wing the left. I-backs behind Wilkening. Give it on the counter. It's Rosales. He turns it up inside. Breaks another tackle. He's loose at the 40. Cuts it upside at the 45. The 50. He's in Walden Grove territory inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. And a Horn Auto Center first down and big yards for Rosales. Luis Rosales, as you mentioned, punt, just a sophomore, but running with some intensity there.
Well, and just great instincts. That big cut that he made inside, he's gliding outside, sets up the flow of the defensive tacklers, and then cuts back with just a really strong cut, and then that breaks that run loose for a big gain.
On 1st and 10, Jackets go trips left. Penrod, the lone setback, but a penalty on the play. I think our white hat forgot he has a microphone for us, so they're waving off the penalty.
Yeah, I think they're working on the clock or something.
He thought there was too many men on the field, I believe. Yeah. So never mind. Back to the play. Wilkening takes a snap, give it to Penrod. Has room, hurdles a man up the middle, and gets to the 40-yard line after a good surge, individual effort, and a pickup of 3 on the play.
And again, nothing really glamorous or fancy, but Blue Ridge will take those 3 yards, with second down after a 3-yard gain. They've shown the ability, Mike, so far in this game to just chip away, and get the first downs and keep these long drives going.
I'm just glad the Jackets have purple numbers on a white uniform. We can read them. Yeah. Same formation for the Jackets. 3 receivers left. In the shotgun now, Wilkening looking to throw. Throws the left side, and it's too high. Intended for Nick Jones, but the pass a little high, and it falls incomplete. Going to bring up third down.
Well, and they have Josh McCray out on that split, going deeper, taking the corner with them and leaving that flat open for Nick Jones, as you say, on that little short route. The ball thrown just a little too high. Jones not able to go up and get it, but had he caught that and been able to keep his feet underneath him, he probably would have knocked off a pretty good gain there.
We'll see what the Jackets come up with on 3rd and 7. Ball spotted at the Walden Grove 40-yard line. Send McCray wide to the near side. Wing right, I-backs behind Wilkening. Give it to Johnson. He's going to try the right side. He's at the 35, and he falls forward. It's going to really depend on the spot. And it's going to be very close to a first down. I'm sure our head referee will have to look at it. He's calling it dead. And they're going to look at it. It is a Horn Auto Center first down for the Yellow Jackets, and a huge pickup of 7 yards for Tristan Johnson.
Yeah, great run by Tristan. He's able to get through that second level, really not even being touched. And then once he reaches the safety, as you said, he just digs down deep and knocks both of those safeties backwards to get that first down.
On 1st and 10, Wilkening this time going to keep it as he cuts it up inside, a designed run play for the quarterback the whole way. And they get to the edge, picking on the tight end right there, Richard Silva, as Wilkening picks up 6 yards for the Yellow Jackets.
And as you say, that design play with the quarterback just basically sprint left and pulling guard, and he just follows that guard up the gap, up the hole, and a good gain here for Wilkening's first run of the game.
McCray wide right, I-backs, give it to the deep man, Johnson. He bounces off one tackler, gets thrown forward inside the 25. Going to be close to another first down at the 27-yard line. That was their second down play, and it is another Horn Auto Center first down for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. Racking up the first downs.
Just chipping away.
Yeah, not only one real big play for the Yellow Jackets. Yep. Otherwise, like you said, just a couple yards here and a couple yards there.
And Tristan Johnson, for Blue Ridge fans, the taller brother of Chris Johnson, who was just an outstanding back for the Jackets not too long ago. So clearly,
Rosales loose on the veer option, the first man through, and he's got another 11 yards. Rosales has been picking up great yards, the sophomore running back for the Yellow Jackets, and it'll be another first down at the 12-yard line. Jackets still can pick up one more first down without getting into the end zone. But they continue to drive here with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the second quarter. They already lead 7-0.
And a big key for the Jackets, Mike, is, execution-wise, they've been spot on. We haven't seen hardly any penalties at all from them.
Wilkening gives to Rosales again as he cuts off the right side, back to the middle, and falls inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. Some quick running by the sophomore Rosales for Blue Ridge.
Clearly a bright spot having Rosales have such a big game for these Jackets tonight. And you can see in his just his aggressive style, he is not a bashful runner. He's got a lot of energy for a sophomore.
2nd down and 2. Jackets can get a first down without getting in the end zone. Wilkening goes under center. Wing right. Going to try that option again to Rosales, and he takes it. And touchdown, Yellow Jackets. You couldn't really tell by the officials. You had to listen to the handful of fans on the Blue Ridge sideline. It is a touchdown. The Yellow Jackets for their 2nd score of the night from 3 yards out. Rosales gets the touchdown after some great runs on that drive by the sophomore.
And again, Mike, I hate to keep sounding like a broken record, but we talked about one of the keys for Blue Ridge tonight was their line play. And you got to give props to the offensive line for Blue Ridge, just doing an outstanding job up front against a bigger team, physically bigger team, finding ways to just make those holes and allow this running game to succeed so far.
On the point after try, the kick is up and just gets over the upright. That's going to make our score 14-0 in favor of the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. That scoreboard brought to you by Black Diamond Auto Gloss. We will step away. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Welcome back to the iTalk 106.7 Game of the Week. The Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets traveled about 4.5 hours down from Lakeside to Sahuarita, Arizona, and they have a 14-0 lead over the Walden Grove Red Wolves. This kickoff brought to you by Northland Pioneer College. It's Rosales, high end-over-end kick, fielded at the 10-yard line, bobbled at the 10-yard line, now picked up, and out to the 20, the 25, and his hit there shouldn't have stopped. Took it down to the 25. He'll be dropped there, 1st and 10. Walden Grove with just under about, fours are wild, 4:44 to go in the second quarter. And let's take it down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. Brandon?
Hey, thanks, Mike. One of the things I'm noticing down here on the field is, as you guys have been touching on, Blue Ridge's MO, 3-4 yards in a cloud of dust that really wears down the defense. Now, you would expect Blue Ridge to be in a typically better shape coming down from the elevation down here to the lower elevation, but what they're doing very well is tiring the Walden Grove defense. You see a lot of hands on the hip, a lot of guys pulling their chest pads out from their chest. So, you know what, I lost my train of thought. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon, as Joseph gets the call on 1st down, and he drives forward, dragging would-be tacklers. Picks up 3 yards the hard way, and Walden Grove will be facing a 2nd down and 7. Maybe 6.
Again, Blue Ridge up front, the defensive line, despite the gain, doing a pretty good job of just staying tough against a much bigger offensive line from Walden Grove, and those linebackers coming up to seal off those inside gaps.
So Guerrero goes back under center. I-backs behind him, Kilgore and Joseph. Looking to pass is Guerrero, throws it into the seam, and it's caught at the 35 and tackled at the 40. Looked like trying to make a play. Hebuck tried to make a play on the ball. He missed. And Adrian Chapman comes up with the reception and a Horn Auto Center 1st down for the Red Wolves.
Yeah, Blue Ridge a little lucky there. Blaine Hebuck, as you said, coming inside underneath, trying to either slap that ball or maybe thinking he could pick it, but in the process with the reception, the receiver able to break away over the top, but good safety support from the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, preventing that from just busting loose for a big, big play.
Lane Penrock came up and made the tackle, pickup of 10 on the play. Ball at the 40-yard line of Walden Grove. Guerrero breaks the huddle. Kilgore's going to stay in the backfield. No, excuse me. That's Rojas, Aaron Rojas. 2 receivers left. And now a tight end and a receiver to the right. Guerrero under center. Takes a snap, give it to that deep man, and he's hit immediately. Bounces off him, though, and gets past the line of scrimmage. Still loose. He's across the 50. It's a foot race down the sideline to the 40, the 30, and finally knocked out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. Huge play by Rojas, Aaron Rojas of Walden Grove. And we'll give him a 40-yard pickup. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. Brandon?
What a run what is by Rojas. He actually ran into his own lineman. Actually, the guy about 3 sizes bigger than him. It bounces off of him and then has the tenacity to run all the way across the field to the far side over here, the Blue Ridge sideline, and that speed turn it up. But the initial hit actually came from his own lineman.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. I thought he was stopped dead in his tracks, but
Yep.
But a good job by the line, walling down that side and breaking Rojas loose. So on 1st and 10, Walden Grove in business, trying to get a score in this first half in Jacket territory. Excuse me, they're at the 22-yard line. Looking to pass is Guerrero, and that one's too high. Could have been a backwards pass, but intended for Grajeda. It falls incomplete. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 with the clock stopped at 3 minutes and 4 seconds.
Well, they have the double splits out on that right side, and the out man, Rajeda, as you say, coming inside on a little pop pass, but just a high delivery from the quarterback, preventing the reception to be made. Had he been able to catch that, they had a little bit of a seam inside there.
So Rojas will line up wide right, 2 receivers wide left. Joseph will be the lone back in the backfield as Guerrero goes under center for Walden Grove. Takes a snap, looking to throw again. Looking to throw, flushed out of the pocket, being chased, still loose, and has room to run now. He's inside the 20 and his first out of bounds at the 15, 16-yard line. He does pick up 6, but is going to be short of the first down marker. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
And Julio Rangel from Blue Ridge, the linebacker coming out, looked like he may have had a shot at the quarterback along with number 74 for Blue Ridge, Ryan Eccles. Getting good penetration from his defensive tackle position, defensive end. But credit Guerrero just staying quick to the outside there, and what otherwise would have been a big sack, able to cut it loose for a little bit of a gain there.
So a big 3rd down and 4 for Walden Grove. Probably in 4-down territory. Guerrero now has I-backs behind him. That's Kilgore and Joseph. 1 receiver split wide on either side. Guerrero takes the snap. Fakes it to Joseph, looking to pass. It just dumps it off to Kilgore. He's got room, slips and falls, and the ball's loose. And it looks like it's recovered by Blue Ridge. Is he down? That's the question.
The question will be whether on the slip they're going to call him down.
I think he had lost it before he hit the ground, but the completion made, and as Kilgore tried to cut, he slipped and the ball slipped out.
So they're going to say incomplete?
4th down.
Wow.
Oh,
I
my.
don't understand.
They're calling that an incomplete pass, it looks like. And he definitely turned and ran.
Caught that pass and was able to turn and run upfield.
Incomplete pass. So
wow.
On 4th and 4, looks like Walden Grove is going to bring out the field goal unit, try to get some points on the board here in the first half. Get this shutout taken care of that Blue Ridge has pitched so far. As Kilgore sure looked like he had the pass there. Blue Ridge is going to call a timeout. We will take it with them. Our score, Yellow Jackets 14, Red Wolves 0. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
Black Diamond Auto Glass provides the finest full-service mobile and in-shop glass repair services. From free chip repair to windshield replacement, tinting, and more. We're here to pamper you and your car.
Black Diamond Auto Glass. Yeah.
This job looks perfect. It says you need a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma. I got that.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to Walden Grove High School in Sahuarita, Arizona. I should say that a little better, probably. But, you know.
What, Sahuarita?
Sahuarita.
Sounded good to me.
On 4th and 4. Red Wolves have it at the Yellow Jacket 15, but they're forced to try for a field goal to snap the hold. It's blocked. It's blocked. It's a foot race for the ball, and looks like Walden Grove has recovered it. But either way, it'll be Yellow Jacket ball. 1st and 10, Yellow Jackets.
Which makes you think that was a great timeout by Blue Ridge. You know, clearly strategy there was to see if they could prevent Walden Grove from getting that that field goal off. So great defensive execution, and more importantly, giving Blue Ridge the ball with 2:36 left.
Well,
and we'll see what they can do here offensively.
I'm sure Coach May was thinking, I just need to get some points on the board, get rid of this shutout, and instead it's blocked, and the Jackets have it. 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. Wilkening going to go to the shotgun formation. 3 receivers right, but it's a give to Lane Penrod up the middle. Tried left side, breaks 1 tackle, now 2, and has it to the 44-yard line. A pickup of 9 on the play, going to bring up 2nd down and 1.
And as you say, Lane Penrod able to break a couple of tackles with just aggressive running, you know, pumping those legs, and in the process putting him in great position here for a short gain to get the 1st down.
Same formation for the Jackets now. Wilkening looking to throw over the middle, and it's short, but I believe it's caught. It is complete to Josh McCray over the middle, and a Horn Center 1st down in Walden Grove territory. They'll stop the clock to set the chains with 2:02 to go.
Well, McCray running the post route from that right split, and as you say, having to go down to get that ball, but credit McCray coming up with a great catch there for Blue Ridge.
Wilkening going to stay in the shotgun. Trips left, looking to pass, drops back, looking left, and it's thrown. Ooh, incomplete. Intended that time for Nick Jones. Had it in his grasp, but could not haul it in on the out route, and it'll fall incomplete to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Well, that's a good pass from Wilkening. Jones just not able, a little bit high maybe, but Jones, that's certainly a pass that Jones should have been able to pull in. But Blue Ridge clearly with the 2-minute offense here, executing, trying to move the ball down the field to get another score before halftime.
And they have no timeouts, or it says they have 0, I believe, but I thought they had 1, but no timeouts on the scoreboard. So the Jackets will go back to work in the shotgun. Wilkening, 3 receivers left, takes the snap, and play whistle blown. Wow.
Yeah, it's timeout, but called by Coach May, I believe.
I didn't think he got it off before the snap.
I'm just saying what the refs are saying.
Timeout on the field. Walden Grove calls one of their last 2, as Coach May didn't like something that he saw. We'll keep it right here with 1 minute and 52 seconds to go. Scoreboard brought to you by Black Diamond Auto Glass. The Jackets on top 14-0. Blue Ridge already got to feel good about things as they've been able to put 2 scores up, whereas 2 weeks ago only could muster 1 for the entire game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and they do it with the grinding run game, which we expected, as Brendan Todd had mentioned in chatting with Coach London before the game. They were going to try to execute and get the running game going. They've certainly done that. And now here with just under 2 minutes right before halftime, we see him go to the pass game to try to turn over that blocked field goal attempt from Walden Grove and go into halftime with another score. So they're certainly moving to the passing game here to try to march down quickly and get another score.
So after the timeout, ball will be spotted at the, there must have been a penalty. No, take that back. Ball spotted at the 43-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Wilkening's going to set the same formation. No, he goes under center, trips left, take the snap. Give it to number 24 off the right side. He's got room running. He's at the 30, inside the 30, brought down, but he has enough for the Horn Auto Center 1st down. And that is Julio Rangel on the carry.
Yep. A junior, Julio Rangel, that time finding a lot of room out on that right side. Walden Grove in their pass defense and finding big space up at the line of scrimmage to break off that big run.
McCray wide right. Hebuk left. Pass intended for McCray. He's got it. Goes down. Not a lot of forward progress, but does have it complete to the 22-yard line. Pickup of 8. And Wilkening seems to be dialing in his accuracy a little bit more here on this last drive.
Well, he's going to those quick routes out on the flats early here and able to find receivers. But with a minute 15 now, they're going to have to work quickly if they want to look for a score here.
McCray goes wide right this time. Hebuck in the slot. Johnson, the third back on the right side. Wilkeny looking to pass again. Has time. Throws to the out. Has the receiver, and it's complete. And that should stop the clock as the chains will move again on the Horn Auto Center. First down. Pass complete to Hebuck as he came back to the ball. And the Jackets have it 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
That was McCray, number 2, out on that wide right, coming back for that ball, gets out of bounds.
Jackets flop the formation. It's going to stay with it, though. Wilkeny looking to pass. Left, has a man as McCray comes back for it. This time it's thrown underneath a little too much, and McCray can't haul it in. Does stop the clock with 49 seconds.
Yeah, Spencer Wilkening that time sees the receiver on that little hitch route to the outside. Just not enough arm to get it to him. Bounces it short of the receiver, but regardless, that does stop the clock, Mike. So Blue Ridge still was just second down in a position here to where they can put some more points up on the board before halftime.
Second down and 15. I'm sorry, second down and 10 from the 15. Jackets break the huddle. Keep the tight end on the right side. 3 receivers left. Penrod will stay in the backfield with Wilkeny. Hand off to Penrod. He slips tacklers in the backfield, trying for extra yardage up the middle inside the 10, and now a penalty on the play. Not too many penalties in this first half, but we have one here in the late moments of the first half.
Well, in Blue Ridge on that play with Lane Penrod getting the delayed handoff in the backfield, a little lucky because defender, again, these numbers are really hard to pick up from Walden Grove, but a defensive lineman right in the backfield with Lane Penrod, and credit Penrod for just being able to shake loose and bust off a little bit of a gain, and we're going to get a penalty.
Personal foul.
Yep, face mask against Walden Grove.
So that'll take it half the distance to the goal line, and it'll be 1st and goal to go for the Yellow Jackets. No, they're not. They don't know what they're doing yet. It is 1st down and goal to goal. Ball spotted at the 5-yard line for Blue Ridge in Walden Grove territory. 41 seconds to go as they try to get more points on the board before the end of the half, but they have no timeouts, Blue Ridge. They have to stop the clock if they can't get it in the end zone in order to get a field goal unit out there. But Wilkeny will stay in there in the shotgun. Penrod to his left. 3 receivers left. Take the snap. Looking to pass. Got pressure from the back, gets rid of it, and it's caught. Touchdown, McCray on the other end of the reception from 5 yards out. Blue Ridge puts 6 more points on the board.
That's a great pass by Spencer Wilkening, just very patient in the pocket. Not a ton of pressure, but the pressure's still coming, and able to find McCray posting in deep in the end zone. It just delivers a perfect pass right to McCray in a little bit of a pocket in between defenders, so great execution.
Spencer Wilkening, the 6'1", 160-pound junior, using that height to see over the line and throw a strike right into the belly of Josh McCray. As the Jackets show the passing game, we talked in the pregame punt, you and Brandon both, about the Jackets wanting to run the ball, but they have exploited Walden Grove on the pass here on this final drive of the half with 34 seconds to go. Here comes the untimed down. It's the snap, the hold. Rosales trying to kick that one, and it is no good. With 34 seconds again, our score, Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets 20, Walden Grove Red Wolves 0. That scoreboard update again brought to you by Black Diamond Auto Glass, home of the free chip repair. Also want to thank another sponsor, Subway. Subway in Pine Top and Show Low. Eat fresh. And you talked at the beginning, Punt, about the Ace Hardware keys to the game, about the line play. And so far, the Blue Ridge Yellow Jacket line has done the job of both opening holes and giving protection for Spencer Wilkening to throw the ball.
Well, on that last possession after the blocked field goal, we knew Blue Ridge would want to try to score to go into the half with adding more points, and they were able to execute that time. This last series, going to the passing game, and of course the protection helps. But I think the big thought on Blue Ridge's mind was their Blue Ridge's undersized line relative to Walden Grove, a physically bigger team. Would they be able to pull off the running game? And they have done that very well so far in the game tonight.
Don't forget to stay tuned for the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show as the Jackets set to kick off, and Rosales will do the kicking duties. This Northland Pioneer College kickoff from the 40. Low line drive. Squibber takes a good hop for Walden Grove. Trying to get to the near sideline. And tackled at the 36-yard line. Goes down hard. Comes up a little limping, but good field position for Walden Grove at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, big hit there by the Blue Ridge defense. Outside contained. Blaine Heba doing his job of just setting that outside edge and not letting him break outside.
Well,
comes in low, and then another Blue Ridge player coming in high and just really buckled that runner.
You got to believe Guerrero going to try to go to the air as he sets up in the shotgun. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Takes the snap. Looking, throwing over the middle, and it is short. Only receiver in the area was number 24, Julio Rango for the Yellow Jackets. Pass will fall incomplete. Clock stop with 24.8 seconds.
Well, and Blue Ridge obviously here going into that deep cover forward coverage with the linebackers also dropping way back deep, much deeper than they would normally, expecting the pass.
On 2nd down and 10, same formation for the Red Wolves. Guerrero in the shotgun, takes the snap. Looking left, now forced out of the pocket, dumps it to Joseph. Joseph tried to get out of bounds, and I believe he did. Shy of the first down marker. Tackle made by Eccles, and a pickup of 5 on the play to the 46-yard line.
Well, you know, they go, Walden Grove going there with what Blue Ridge defense would give them, which is the short stuff, and with just 17 seconds left, Blue Ridge, you know, that kind of offensive play plays right into the defense of Blue Ridge.
Walden Grove, long snap, looking left, pump fakes, still has time, now has to pull it and look to the right. Throws it down the field, has a man, and it's almost intercepted as the ball took a long time to get there. And number 16 for the Yellow Jackets.
Nick Jones, the safety, coming up from over the top, closing in quickly once that ball's let loose, and tries to dive for the interception, can't come up with it.
With 9.1 seconds and a 4th down and 3 for Walden Grove, they know this could be the last play of the half. They're going to call their final timeout. We'll keep it right here. Don't forget to stay tuned for the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. We won't have a look inside the numbers, but we'll talk about the first half. We have some scoring drives to recap for you. We'll also have a special interview for you brought to you by Ron Everingham, and we'll look at second half adjustments for both teams. But obviously, Walden Grove going to be facing a fairly large uphill battle as they have had some success moving the ball, but have not been able to get any points on the board to show for it.
Well, I think the big contrast, you know, we've been talking about Blue Ridge, and apart from that last drive where they really, because of the time left on the clock, they had to go to the passing game, and they were able to successfully move down the field with the passing game and score right before half. Their other drives, they've just been slowly chipping away with that running game and able to knock off nothing really big, you know, no really big gains, but just chipping away with first downs and moving down the field and putting points up. And in contrast, Walden Grove just not getting the momentum. Every now and then a really big run here and there, not so much passing, but they're not knocking off big runs, but just not enough to put it into the end zone so far.
After the timeout, Walden Grove comes out looking to pass. They throw the wide out, and it's incomplete. They're going to call it incomplete pass. Jackets all over it, but forward pass call incomplete. Jackets will have it on the turnover on downs. And the problem is 5.4 seconds left. If you're Blue Ridge, do you go for the dagger right here?
Well, why not? You know, it's, if you can beat them down going into halftime, this would be a place to do it momentum-wise. I mean, they got to feel successful having put up those points with the last touchdown. But with just five seconds left, and
it'll take about a 55-yard pass.
Yeah, Blue Ridge not known for their big passing game, so I wouldn't be surprised here if they just stay conservative.
Just take a knee and go into the halftime locker room up 20-0 over Walden Grove. So Wilkeneen will come out. He is going to be in the shotgun formation, though. 3 receivers to the right. Puts Penrod to his left now. Takes a snap, and he is going to go for it. Looking to pass right, throws it over the middle, long ways, and it is intercepted. I'm not sure why they're blowing the whistle. as Walden Grove has it. He's loose and now tackled at the 27-yard line, and that will do it for the first half as Grajeda comes up with the interception for Walden Grove. And that's it, our score after the first half. The Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets 20, Walden Grove 0. When we come back, the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show right here on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car? Their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Sholo.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
There's no better time to visit Horn Auto Center. Check out the all-new Chevy Silverado. Voted 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Strong for all the roads ahead. Or find new roads with the all-new Corvette Stingray. Voted the 2014 North American Car of the Year. Visit Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs in Sholo across from Safeway and at hornauto.com. You're at home with Horn since 1991.
Black Diamond Auto Glass provides the finest full-service mobile and in-shop glass repair services, from free chip repair to windshield replacement, tinting, and more. We're here to pamper you and your car.
Black Diamond Auto Glass.
Welcome back to Sahuarita, Arizona, and Walden Grove High School for the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show. I want to thank all of our sponsors for helping to bring you live high school football action, and also helping out with the White Mountain Youth Productions from Snowflake and Sholo High Schools, and Sholo TV and Mel West for coordinating that. I want to run through the list of students who are making this video presentation possible. They just do an outstanding job. They even have, this is like professional. They even have the players' names as they carry the ball. That's very quick. So Sky Perez, the technical director on audio tonight and graphics, Isaiah Miller. The main camera, Zach Davis. On field cameras, we have Dominic Stem, Hunter Marsh, and Shane Bubia. Advisor and technical advisor and instructor from Sholo High School, Jerry Butler. And also we should mention the personal chauffeur making the long trip down here from Sholo, Tanya Butler. Thank you guys so much for bringing us the video. Right here on the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show, we have a special interview with Ron Everingham. I believe he has the superintendent of Blue Ridge School District, Mr. Michael Wright. Ron?
Hey, thanks, Michael. Down here on the sideline with Blue Ridge Superintendent Mike Wright. Now, what people haven't seen is the intensity that you bring to the sideline. So tell me just a little bit about, here's your opportunity to share your take on the first half. What are you seeing? How is Blue Ridge doing here from the first game that they had?
I'm sure one of the boys, I tell you.
We lost him, Ron. We
Check.
lost
1, 2.
him, Ron.
Okay, come this way. Here, little audio problems. Here you go. Let's try that again. So, what are you seeing here in the first half?
I can see the impact of Bob London, Gary Williams, and Frankie Girardi. The intensity those men bring to these boys. They're playing hard. I'm sure proud of them.
Okay, what's Blue Ridge going to have to do in the second half to maintain this lead?
Just like what they did in the first half, just maintain it, try to minimize mistakes, and continue to play hard and tackle hard. I'm really proud of them.
Okay, so you've been at Blue Ridge here for a few months, and there's no question that it feels like the pride of Blue Ridge is back. What are some things that you're excited about that are going on up at Blue Ridge?
I'm really excited about the involvement of the community. We have a lot of folks. You look over in the stands, these people drove 5 hours to get here. I'm really proud about the people that are coming out and volunteering. Folks like Gary Williams that came back and wanted to help. That's what makes it special.
Any special projects coming up within the high school? Things that are going on? I know there's been a lot of student activities, a lot of student involvement. We have a new principal, and so what are you seeing there in the high school?
I tell you what, Jay Cox brings a whole different level of energy. He's total enthusiasm, and he brings a level of focus and fun that's really hard to replicate. In addition to that, Jay wants to bring back the band like we have here in the back. I mean, there's programs we want to bring back, make sure that every kid has something to do and has a meaningful experience. And just bringing back the pride. The pride was always here. It just was a little bit dormant. We're stirring those embers up, and it's really starting to flame.
Okay, Mike, well, thanks for all you do, and thanks for coming all the way down here to see this game. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Ron, and for getting us that interview with Superintendent of Blue Ridge Unified School District, Mr. Michael Wright. On the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show and punt, it was fast. Things kind of started off slow for both teams, kind of feeling each other out, but the scoring for Blue Ridge started to happen a little more fast and furious. Take us through the scoring update from the first half.
Sure. So in the first quarter, Blue Ridge starts off with 3:32 in the first. Tristan Johnson on a 1-yard TD run, and the point after kick to bring Blue Ridge up 7-0 after a long sustained drive by Blue Ridge. And then Blue Ridge again in the second quarter with 4:52 left. Rosales on a three-yard TD run and the point after to bring it to 14-0 Blue Ridge. And then that last drive right before halftime, Blue Ridge, after blocking a Walden Grove field goal attempt, Blue Ridge able to march down primarily with the passing game, and with just 34 seconds left in that first half, Wilkening throwing a 9-yard touchdown pass to McCray. The kick failed after that touchdown, but that's what leaves us here at halftime with a 20-0 Blue Ridge lead over Walden Grove.
All right, thank you very much, Pun. Also want to thank some more sponsors here bringing you high school football in the White Mountains: Octopus Car Wash, the Indian Pine Restaurant at Honda, and Summit Regional Medical Center. When we come back on the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show, we'll talk about second half adjustments. Also, hopefully, may have some scoring updates for you from around Division IV and Division V football. This is iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. We'll be right back.
Folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
Sunrise Park Resort is now open every Friday to Monday through Labor Day weekend. Bring the family for a full day of fun and activities, including scenic lift rides, mountain biking and bike rentals, tube slide, airbag jump, and more. Book your reservation at the Sunrise Hotel with beautiful views of the lake and mountain, or rent a boat at the Sunrise Lake Marina. And make sure you visit our general store for all your camping and fishing needs. For more information, please call 928-735-7669 or visit our website at sunriseskipark.com.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car? Their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Show Low.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Welcome back to the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show live from Walden Grove High School, about 30 minutes south of Tucson for this Division IV matchup between the Walden Grove Red Wolves and the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets currently have a 20-0 lead and punt. They will have the ball to start the second half. Let's talk second half adjustments first for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets.
Well, I think the big adjustment maybe on defense for them is if they can, they want to try to avoid the big play, I think, when they're on defense with Walden Grove, because really when you look at that Walden Grove offense, clearly not able to put points up on the board, although they did threaten on several drives. And really what made those drives happen for Walden Grove were the big plays, the big run plays in particular. So I'm sure the coaches for Blue Ridge are coaching guys up just to try to avoid those big plays. I think that's the big thing. And then offensively, I think as long as Blue Ridge continues, we talked about one of the keys being their line play to get that running game going, and they've been doing well so far. I'm not sure if fatigue will potentially play a role here in the second half. It's obviously a warmer place down here, although tonight, because of the storm situation, it's not as hot as it could potentially be, which plays in the favor of, I think, Blue Ridge, with their conditioning and so forth. But, if they can just continue to execute, be patient, and avoid the big mistakes on offense, it looks like Blue Ridge is pretty well suited here to continue to mount those big, long drives that eat a lot of time off the clock. And obviously, if they score, it's going to put Walden Grove in a real tight box. Obviously, Blue Ridge can't get too conservative and, get to where they're giving Walden Grove a lot more possessions in the second half. Right, absolutely. And that's one of the things that is a big advantage for Blue Ridge when they are able to get their running game going. They just chew up so much time, and before you know it, it's not leaving a lot of opportunity for Walden Grove to mount any big offensive drives. Well, and for Walden Grove, obviously an uphill battle for them, but they did have some success offensively. Talk a little bit about what they might need to do. Well, where they're getting their big games is, and as we talked about at the top of the game, Lewis Joseph, number 28, their leading rusher. When he gets out in open space, man, you can see where he has the athleticism and the power to be able to blow through some of those Blue Ridge defenders. The challenge has been, with the exception of a few big plays, he's just not able to cut loose in open space past the line of scrimmage, and I think that's one of the big keys so far for them. We have seen Joseph have some big plays, but can't get into the end zone. Let's go down to Ron Evernham. Ron is our technical producer here and takes care of the video side of things on iTalk1067.com. And Ron, you said you had some suggestions from some Walden Grove fans on the website.
Yeah, just want to encourage everybody, if you are watching it on our YouTube site, the live stream, you have a chance to interact with the broadcast. And we did have one of the viewers watching from Walden Grove who shot a chat out that in order for them to get back in it, he thought the keys were the game for them to force some 3-and-outs and throw the deep ball. So I don't know what you guys think about that.
Throw the deep ball. Well, thank you, Ron. First of all, but
force the 3-and-out would be a great stop.
Huge. Yeah.
for sure.
I'm not sure about the deep ball. Guerrero has not been the most accurate. I mean, he throws a good ball. The ball looks pretty in the air, but has not been the most accurate so far in the first half.
Well, and we did see, especially down on this in the second quarter on this end of the field, on the right end of the field, as on the radio dial, where they did make a couple of throws into the end zone, challenging those cornerbacks from Blue Ridge. And, with a good throw, a more accurate throw, you could argue that those would have been touchdown throws, and perhaps that's what the fans are talking about. But, it's going to be difficult. If you go strictly to a passing game, Blue Ridge, obviously a team that can make those kinds of adjustments. So they're just going to have to put together a really sound, Walden Grove at least, put together a really sound offensive game plan here in the second half if they're going to get back in this thing.
All right, let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd, who had a chance to speak with Coach Bob London of the Yellow Jackets as they left the field. Brandon?
Well, I guess you can call it I spoke with Coach London. I felt like, if you guys have ever seen the San Antonio Spurs play, talking with Coach London is a lot like talking to Coach Pop for the San Antonio Spurs. He doesn't give a whole lot to the media. So I asked Coach London, I said, hey, give me your thoughts on the first half. He said, well, it's the first half. And then I thought that was going to be it, and then he dropped this nugget on me. He said, but the kids played hard, and I'm proud of him for that. So I have no insight onto what his talk was going to be with his team, what he was happy with. Well, obviously he's happy with the intensity, but other than that, I got nothing for you. So from now on, I am referring to Coach London as Coach Pop.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. Always some nuggets from Coach London on the Yellow Jacket sideline. That's going to do it for the Sunrise Park Resort halftime show on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. When we come back, second half kickoff. Stay tuned.
There's no better time to visit Horn Auto Center. Check out the all-new Chevy Silverado. Voted 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Strong for all the roads ahead. Or find new roads with the all-new Corvette Stingray. Voted the 2014 North American Car of the Year. Visit Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs in Show Low across from Safeway and at hornauto.com. You're at home with Horn since 1991.
Sunrise Park Resort is now open every Friday to Monday through Labor Day weekend. Bring the family for a full day of fun and activities, including scenic cliff rides, mountain biking and bike rentals, tube slide, airbag jump, and more. Book your reservation at the Sunrise Hotel with beautiful views of the lake and mountain, or rent a boat at the Sunrise Lake Marina. And make sure you visit our general store for all your camping and fishing needs. For more information, please call 928-735-7669 or visit our website at sunriseskipark.com.
It is the White Mountain Sports Game of the Week right here on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. This high school football game brought to you by Hatch Motor Company in Show Low and Snowflake. Simply the best in service and sales. And we are about set for the second half kickoff. Blue Ridge with the 20-0 lead will receive the ball to start the second half. Don't forget, when it comes to kick off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona, Northland Pioneer College. That's probably some words of wisdom our sideline reporter could have used about 6 years ago. Something like that. What do you think about that, Brandon?
I think I got a pretty decent education for paying $40,000 a year to do it.
Indeed. Well said. All right. Walden Grove has it teed up. There's the kick. Knuckleball fielded at the 8-yard line. Brings it out to the 20 and stopped there. Not much doing. Could not get ahead of steam was Rosales on the carry. And the Jackets will have it there, 1st and 10. Excuse me, that was Hebuck, I believe.
Yeah, Blaine Hebuck.
Comes off a little gimpy, but nonetheless, Jackets have it 1st and 10 from the 20.
Well, Blue Ridge able to set up that wedge out in front of Hebuck, but credit the Walden Grove kickoff team, just doing a great job of blowing that wedge up and getting to Hebuck and really limiting his gain there, putting him right at the 20.
As we go through the second half, don't forget to stay tuned for the post-game wrap-up show where we will announce the straight line play of the game, sponsored by Beeler Orthodontics and the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game. Wilkening under center, giving it to the deep man. That's Johnson. He's picking his way through traffic up the middle, has room across the 30, drags the tackler across the 35, and is finally tackled at the Yellow Jacket 38-yard line.
A good piece of running. Tristan Johnson that time blowing through that second level, breaking some tackles from the linebackers.
Not conservative.
Yeah, not conservative at all, and just great aggressive running by him to just blow off a big gain here early in the first possession.
Pickup of 18 on the play. Jackets break the huddle. Bring McCray here to the near sideline, wing right. Offset backs to the right. Run the option. Give to the first man through. Believe that is Johnson. And he is driven backwards. Excuse me, that's Rosales. And the officials we've seen in the first couple contests have not blown the play dead when momentum has been stopped. And we've seen a couple fumbles as a result of it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely slow with the whistles when they get those big masses of bodies. They're letting them play through. But despite the fact there, you know, the Walden Grove up front doing a great job of just sealing off those gaps inside and really not allowing much room there for Rosales to break anything open.
For Yellow Jacket fans, Hebuck back in the game. He's walked off whatever was ailing him after the kickoff. Send Timmy Entrick in wide left. Tight slot on the left side as well. Wilkening takes a snap. Counter play to Hebuck. Up inside and not much doing as Walden Grove is there. Hebuck does get back to the line of scrimmage, but not more than that. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
And again, as you say, Mike, they try a counter there after setting that play up with runs to that left side. But credit that defensive front just staying home and sealing off that inside gap. And really nothing there for Hebuck on that handoff.
Well, as was mentioned in the halftime show, this would be a chance for not quite a 3 and out, but still not a bad opportunity if Walden Grove can hold here on 3rd and 8. Jackets, 2 receivers right, I-backs behind Wilkening. Take the snap, looking to throw. Wilkening rolling left, throwing left, and it is incomplete. Defender did a great job of timing that one. Same time intended for Entricken, could not hold on to it. Travis Shannon there to help him drop the ball on that incomplete pass. It'll bring up 4th and long.
And this is the first situation, Blue Ridge, if they decide to do it in a 4th down situation where they may actually have to punt here. We've seen Blue Ridge go on 4th down earlier in the first half, but that was in situations where they had short yardage. Now here faced with 4th and 8, they're going to set up in pump formation.
So Entricken will stand at his 25-yard line deep to do the punting duties for the Yellow Jackets. The snap, low line drive punt, but it takes a Yellow Jacket bounce at the 40, now to the 35, still rolling, and it'll be down at the 34-yard line. So Walden Grove their defense does the job and stops Blue Ridge on their first drive of the game. So Walden Grove, we'll see what adjustments they made coming out of the first half. Guerrero's going to stay in there at quarterback with the same starting backfield. Joseph will be the deep man. Kilgore, the up back. I-backs behind him. 2 receivers, 1 each side. Guerrero's under the center. Takes a snap, give to the deep man. That's Joseph, and he's hit at the line, but drives forward for a pickup of 3. Jackets trying to strip the ball, but nothing doing as Joseph holds on to it.
Well, a good effort by Joseph on that second effort to push ahead for another yard, maybe 2, but not a lot of room on that first play going right up the gut is Walden Grove, and good defensive surge there by Blue Ridge to limit that gain. Another player we failed to mention, we were focusing so much on Lewis Joseph, who's the leading rusher for Walden Grove, but another running back that did a great job in the first half with some big plays was Aaron Rojas, number 3. So he's clearly another threat that Blue Ridge needs to keep an eye on here in the second half.
So the Red Wolves break the huddle. I-backs behind Guerrero. Take the snap. Give it to Joseph again. And he's going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage. Big tackle coming in from the backside. Looked like it was a linebacker. And it was
17.
Yeah, Colton Penrod.
That's the brother of Lane Penrod, the younger brother. So he's doing a great job there closing off that play early, as you say.
Now Lane Penrod played for Snowflake last year and is now back at Blue Ridge. And Colton is limping a little bit, playing the defensive end on the short side of the field. We'll see if that plays a factor for Walden Grove's offense. I-backs again. Guerrero taking the snap, looking to pass. Looking left, looking left, throws the screen to Joseph. And there's Lane Penrod, older brother, right there to make a huge tackle on 3rd and 8. Joseph fights forward to get almost back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th and long for Walden Grove. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. Brandon?
Hey, Mike, thank you. I have an injury update for Walden Grove. A starting defensive tackle, number 65, junior Carlos Drum, out for the game. Apparently, on one of the defensive stands, running back rolled up on his ankle. He's out for the game.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. As the Jackets thinks they believe Walden Grove is going to punt here. Return man for the Jackets stands just inside his 30. There's the snap. It's a good one. The punt is away, and it's a good one. Fielded at the 34-yard line. It's Johnson. Johnson trying to pick up blocks. Picks up a big one from Lane Penrod. Stiff arm at the 30. Cuts it up down the sideline. He's loose at the 40. He's at the 50. It's going to be a foot race. Stiff arm. He's still on his feet. Cuts it up inside. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. The Jackets are going to score. Tristan Johnson, 66 yards. But there's a play back at the 30-yard line. Penalty flag, back at the Yellow Jacket 30-yard line. We'll sort that out, but it's probably going to go against the Yellow Jackets.
Anyone that's familiar with the Blue Ridge punt return game, they like setting up that picket fence. They did that there. When judging from where the flag is, it looks like they may. Okay, they're going to call the holding call on the Jackets, but great piece of running there by Tristan Johnson, finding that seam on that
big blocks.
left side, big blocks. And able to break it loose, but they're going to bring it all the way back.
So this will put the ball all the way back to the Blue Ridge Yellow Jacket 20-yard line. A huge break for Walden Grove, as they would have been down 4 scores there with 7 minutes and 2 seconds. As we look at the scoreboard, brought to you by Black Diamond Auto Glass, Jackets still hold a 20-0 lead, as both teams have not been able to get much going offensively here in their first series of the half. The Jackets will have it now, 1st and 10 from their own 20. I'm not sure what the chain crew is doing, but they're a little behind. Everybody else is ready. Now the official's going to have to stop. I see. The line judge was a little late, holding him, bringing him down. And they're going to go for it anyway. Wilkening under center. Option. Wilkening gives. Rosales not much doing. I think Walden Grove has seen that one a time or two. And no gain on the play. Going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
I'm not sure if that was a busted play and they just tried to do what they could with the ball, or if it was an executed play. It certainly didn't work, but as you say, Mike, just no room there whatsoever for that attempt to rush play.
6.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. Jackets break the huddle, send McCray wide left, wing to the right, offset backs to the right. That's Penrod and Rosales. Take the snap. Wilkening running the option again. He's going to keep it this time, following Rosales through the hole. And a big line surge, and Wilkening fights forward for a gain of 6. Call it 7. Going to bring up 3rd down and short for Blue Ridge.
Nice little run there by Wilkening. You know, he lets that lead back go through on the dive and then just ends up following him in through the hole, finding some seam there.
Tough spot for Blue Ridge.
Yeah, busts off a good gain after on the first couple of plays, just really not getting much. So a good move there by Spencer Wilkening.
Jackets will stay with the same formation, but flip it. Receiver on the right, Wilkening gives on, and Rosales is going to try to get to the outside, and he's going to be, he's still on his feet. He changes course, and now he's going to go all the way across the other side of the field. Not advised, but he's loose. He's across the 40. He's still loose and finally brought down at the 46-yard line. Good enough for a Horn Auto Center. 1st down. Boy, surprised you don't get a holding call on that one, but Rosales, the sophomore, kind of shows his youth there, but it pays off for the Yellow Jackets.
Absolutely. You know, I'm sure the coaches were probably wincing a little bit when they see him cut back like that, but, you know, credit the athleticism. He sees that open space and makes the best use of it and able to get the big gain and the 1st down.
McCray, wide left, along with Nick Jones in the slot. Put Rosales as the A-back. Penrod, the lone back, give it to him up the middle. Got now room off the right side across midfield. Falls forward to the 46-yard line. Going to be a gain of 9 on 1st down. 2nd and short for Blue Ridge coming up.
And again, just good line surge up front, opening up that little gap with the pulling guard on the trap. And Lane Penrod able to get through that first level and bust through a couple of missed tackles and knocking off a big gain. So again, we're seeing great success with this Blue Ridge line play, which we talked about being a key, and able to get this running game for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets to just stay on track here in the early in the second half.
Pablo Coronado has to come out for the Red Wolves. Looks a little banged up. Jackets have it 2nd and 1. I-backs behind Wilkening. Take the snap. Give it to the deep man. That's Johnson. No, that's Rosales. He's loose through the middle into the secondary at the 35. Held up there, and it'll be tackled, but not before he picks up another 11 yards and a Horn Auto Center first down for the Yellow Jackets.
And again, we had mentioned it earlier, but Luis Rosales, just a sophomore for the Yellow Jackets, showing a lot of grit tonight and just doing a great job of finding open space and taking full advantage of it when he gets the ball.
Not sure if we'll see the Jackets go to the air again after the success that they've had.
Well, they're definitely, that's a great point, Mike. I mean, they're in a position here where they can just get the running game going and grind down the clock.
On 1st and 10. 3 receivers left, I-backs behind Wilkening. And we have movement. And the motion, Lane Penrod was going into motion, and I believe that drew a Red Wolf offsides, and that's going to give Yellow Jackets 5 free ones. Take it all the way to the 30-yard line. So it'll be first down and 5. My guess is Blue Ridge will run the same play.
Well, they're not going to go into a huddle, so clearly they're just going to set up the previous play, as you said, Mike.
1st and 5. Wilkening does send Penrod in motion. Take the snap, pitch it to Rosales. Rosales turns the corner. Now tries to bounce it to the outside. Oh, and a great tackle on the perimeter by the corner coming up. I believe that is Travis Shannon making the tackle on Rosales. Does pick up 2. Going to bring up 2nd down and 3.
That's a tough open field tackle. You got a blocker in your face with the running back coming at you. So you big time play by Travis Shannon shutting that play down.
Boy, it's not very often you see such few numbers on the Yellow Jacket, both the stands and on the sideline. Not a lot of bodies over there compared to what you see over here for Walden Grove. And I'm talking quantity, not just size.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Jackets send Jones wide right. Lane Penrod stays in the double tight formation. Penrod's going to get the carry off the right tackle, and he has another 4 or 5 yards. Jackets continue to get that line just to create enough of a seam, and it's good for a Horn Auto Center first down for Blue Ridge.
Well, that's that option, that veer option with Wilkening electing to hand off to the dive back Penrod. And as you say, that what creates that gain there is just that line surge on that right side. So just outstanding execution at the line of scrimmage for Blue Ridge.
The defensive ends have done a better job for Walden Grove. That's the key on the veer. They key off that defensive end. They've done a pretty good job of tackling the first ball carrier through. We'll see if the Jackets run it again here as Penrod is offset to the right. Lone setback. He does get it, but goes in the opposite direction, the left side line, and not much doing there as he's tripped up by the ankles, but does have enough, pickup of 2 on the play. We'll call it 3, 2nd down and 7. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Jackets still on top, 20-0. That scoreboard update brought to you again by Black Diamond Auto Glass, home of the free chip repair. Jackets break the huddle, send 1 receiver left to the right. Now a man in motion, that's Hebuk as he resets in the slot. Wilkening going to run the option again. Penrod cuts back up the middle. He's loose at the 15, at the 10, the 5, and can't quite get in the end zone, but does have a Horn Auto Center first down to the 1-yard line.
And it looked like Lane was going to bust through those safeties to maybe get into the end zone, but just a great run by him, just staying tough. Just hard-nosed football there that time by Lane Penrod, breaking through tackles and nearly scoring another touchdown for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets.
And punt with all this running. This 3rd quarter has flown by.
Yes, it has.
Minute 20 to go in the 3rd. Jackets are going to use as much of the play clock as they can. Already have a 20-0 lead, trying to get 6 more. Send a new receiver wide left. That's Austin Alder. Now he comes into the tight end. 2 receivers right. Bring Penrod in the backfield. Give it to him. He's fighting. Penrod cannot get in the end zone. We have no signal. It looks like he's going to be stopped just shy. But Wilkening trying a little deception there. Probably not, but he lined up not under center, under the guard.
He fooled me. He lined up under the guard to start and jumped over to get under the center.
Well, and he's calling his cadence as he's doing that, so he was quick enough to make the correction.
You know, on that play, Mike, we talked about how long these whistles take sometimes. You know, there's just a big wad of bodies right at the goal line. These referees are letting them scrum.
You think Wilkening's going to keep it around the edge this time?
We'll see. You know, this would be a good time to do it.
Should be the last play of the third quarter. Baker, the center for the Yellow Jackets.
Got Rosales in there as well, so
he'll line up as the A back. Penrod, the deep man Wilkening's going to keep it on the center sneak, and they fall forward into the end zone. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. From 1 yard out, Wilkening with the quarterback sneak. With 5.9 seconds to go, the Jackets take a commanding lead, 26-0 over Walden Grove.
And again, you know, another drive we talked about, Mike, where Blue Ridge just executing the run game. I think a big difference here, those some big gains that we didn't necessarily see in the first half, but in the process, just chipping away at that clock.
80-yard drive, to be exact, after the holding penalty brought back a touchdown return by Tristan Penrod on the punt. The Jackets take advantage, run a lot of clock, and eat up 80 yards of turf in order to get 6 more points on the board. Seattle on to try for the untimed down. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. It looks good. It might have pulled it just a hair left. No, it's good. We'll step away with 5.9. I take that back. I take it back. There's only 5.9 seconds in the third quarter. We will keep it right here, and we'll take our commercial break at the end of the quarter. With 5.9 seconds to go, the Jackets on top, 27-0 over the host, Walden Grove Red Wolves. Could be a long night for Walden Grove. They Jackets, we thought Walden Grove would come up and you know, really try to hang tough, but they gave up quite a few big plays in that last drive.
They did, and also on their first possession, Walden Grove's first possession, Blue Ridge able to stifle them, which is not a good start for them offensively after having whatever adjustments they felt they needed to make at halftime. So, you know, and we talked about at halftime, I think the big key for Blue Ridge, obviously, and they just did part of it, which is to eat up the clock with the running game and not give Walden Grove the opportunity to possess the ball. But the other big key, I think, defensively, clearly for Blue Ridge, as they take it into the fourth quarter here, is just not give Walden Grove any big plays.
So Rosales will come out to do the kicking duties for the Yellow Jackets. He has it teed up at the 40-yard line. This kickoff brought to you by Northland Pioneer College. When it comes time to kick off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. Rosales puts foot into it. It's a low line drive kick taken at the 35-yard line by one of the upbacks, and he's running in the wrong direction. He's going to be tackled back at the 35-yard line.
Oh, they take out the referee.
And he is not doing well. The referee got taken out there as he was trying to hustle down there to make a spot on the ball, and he went down. I didn't know if there was contact or if he just slipped on the wet turf.
I think a player may have cut him underneath.
Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. Brandon?
Yeah, Punt, you're exactly right. At the end of the play, I don't know. I didn't see how the player got pushed into him, but a player got pushed right into the legs of the sideline judge, and he's sitting up on his rear end, but he's got his legs stretched out. Talking to the trainers, it looks to be like a leg injury, but it looked pretty nasty when it happened.
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. We're going to go ahead and step away as that ends the third quarter. When we come back, we'll have the fourth and final from Walden Grove High School, where the Yellow Jackets lead 27-0. We'll be back. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
Folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelly Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com. finality.com.
Welcome back to the White Mountain Sports Game of the Week on iTalk 106.7, presented by Hatch Motor Company of Sholo and Snowflake. Simply the best sales and service. As we ended the third quarter, we had an injury on the field, but it wasn't a player, it was the line judge. And he took a good shot. He's trying to walk it off, though. He's one of the most fit people out on the field, so we might see him back. The back judge will now take his place on the line as Walden Grove has it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. They got to try to make something happen now, or it may not end well for them here tonight as we are in the fourth quarter. And Walden Grove trails 27-0. Guerrero going to go to the shotgun. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Kilgore going to stay in the backfield with him. Takes the snap, the shotgun snap. Here comes the blitz. It's a handoff. And, that is Rojas of Walden Grove, and he has an 11-yard pickup on first down with the draw play. A Horn Auto Center first down for Walden Grove.
Yeah, nice little run there by Rojas. You know, he's been aggressive in terms of breaking through tackles. You got to really wrap him up. He's not going to go down easy, and able to break off a big gain there to get the first down.
So it'll be a new set of downs for Walden Grove. Ball's at their own 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Guerrero gets the play from the sidelines. Twin set, 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Rojas going to stay in the backfield to Guerrero's left. Takes a snap. Fake it to Rojas. He's going to keep it himself. Guerrero's going to try the left side. Has one man to beat over there, and a good open field tackle by the Yellow Jackets, Josh McCray. But Guerrero does pick up another 10 and a first down for Walden Grove.
Well executed run play, boot play by the quarterback after the fake, and that fake was a great fake, and that it got the Blue Ridge defense moving towards Rojas. But again, another couple of big running plays, getting this Walden Grove team quick first downs and mounting a drive here finally.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Rojas, give to Joseph now. He's going to try the left side. No, Rojas is going to keep it on the right side, trying to throw it, and they have a man, and it's complete to the 30-yard line in the Yellow Jacket territory. Guerrero doing a great job of orchestrating that. He was running, looked like he was going to run it, sent his receiver down the field, and just flipped over the top to him and completed it in a big play for the Red Wolves.
Yeah, you called that exactly right. You could see Guerrero give him the little flip of the hand to like get your fanny down the field, and he broke down the sideline and just dumped that pass off. So a great play, smart play by Guerrero.
Ball spotted at the Yellow Jackets 17. The Red Wolves in the red zone for, I believe, the first time tonight. They have it at 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the left. Joseph's going to stay in the backfield, flanking Guerrero's left. Shotgun formation. The snap. Guerrero keeps it, throws it to the outside, complete, but tackled almost, not quite tackled as they continue to let the play go. And that pass complete to Adrian Chapman. And that's going to be complete for a pickup of about 3 or 4 on first down. Clock's going to continue to run as no out of bounds or anything like that. So 2nd down and 7. 9:46 to go in the 4th. Oh, they now move the chains. Now we'll call it 2nd down and 5. They can't decide. I don't know. Guerrero taking a long time, setting the play. Stays in the shotgun. Rojas will flank his right. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers to the left. And we have a timeout on the play. Yellow Jackets going to try to stem the tide here. They lead 27-0, but we'll take the timeout with them. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 on the web at iTalk1067.com.
Black Diamond Auto Glass provides the finest full-service mobile and in-shop glass repair services. From free chip repair to windshield replacement, tinting, and more. We're here to pamper you and your car.
Black Diamond Auto Glass.
Has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car, their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware, the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Shola.
The Walden Grove Marching Band doing a good job of entertaining the fans during the timeout. Blue Ridge calls their first timeout of the half as Walden Grove on the doorstep in the red zone at the 12-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Guerrero going to stay in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. I believe that's Joseph in the backfield with him. Takes the snap, looking to throw. Throws it, flips it out to Joseph, and Joseph cannot hang on to it. Little overthrown, and pressure was coming, and Joseph couldn't haul it in. Falls incomplete, going to bring up 3rd and 5.
You can see on this drive, Walden Grove having more success mounting a drive by going outside more, either with the fakes and then the quarterback keeping and running outside, or attacking the flats with passes. Previously, Walden Grove has been trying to go with the running game up the gut, up the middle, and just not having much success, but they're changing their approach here and having some success in mounting the drive.
Chapman and Perez line right, and the snap goes through Guerrero's hand. He picks it up on a hop, though. Here comes the pressure, and he's going to be dropped for a huge loss back to the 35-yard line. Looked like Guerrero just took his eyes off the snap, and it went through his hands. And a huge loss for the Red Wolves all the way back. It's going to set up a 4th down and huge numbers.
That's a drive killer there. Julio Rangel for the Yellow Jackets coming up from his outside linebacker position, seeing that high snap and able to chase down the quarterback. This really just a killer for Walden Grove on the one chance they had where it looked like they might be able to mount a scoring drive.
With 8:45 to go, Walden Grove going for it. Here comes Guerrero. Here comes the pressure, though. But Guerrero escapes but cannot get any farther. And now a fumble on the play, and they're going to say that the ball was loose. No, they're going to say it was down. Guerrero was down before the ball came out, but it will be turned over on downs nonetheless. 1st and 10, Jackets. Guerrero had nowhere to throw it. Tried to run it. Couldn't pick up nearly enough for the 1st down.
So a big break for the Jackets there with Walden Grove just not able to execute on a shotgun snap and putting themselves in a deep hole on a drive that otherwise looked like they might be able to put some points on the board and turn this into maybe a little bit of a game. But Blue Ridge in a position here really where they can just grind the clock down.
Indeed. 1st and 10, Jackets at the 20. They're going to say forward progress to the 24. Give to the deep man. That's Hebuck, and he falls across the 24 to the 29-yard line, 28-yard line. Pickup of 3, 4. Going to be 2nd down and 6. Got nothing?
Got nothing.
Don't make me call you Bill London. Where is Bill?
He's on the sideline.
He's over there?
He's
okay.
a big-time coach.
All right. Yeah, Bill London left us for the...
That's obviously one of the keys to their success.
Yeah, amen. They'll probably take that recording and play that over and over again as Wilkening goes under the center. 3 receivers left. Offset backfield behind him. They're going to run the option. Give it to Hebuck. And he is stopped across the 30 to the 31. Pickup of 2 on the play. Jackets will be forced with their 3rd down situation.
And again, Blue Ridge really not changing anything here. They're just going to grind away with the running game, which we expected. The key for Walden Grove, of course, is to not allow the 1st down in this situation. Try to get the ball back and mount an offensive attack, but we'll see what Blue Ridge can do here.
On 3rd down, I-backs behind Wilkening. Take the snap, give it to the deep man. That's Hebuck, and he picks his way through traffic. Oh, he's going to be very close to a 1st down. It's going to depend on the spot. Looked like he picked up about 5, and it is a Horn Auto Center 1st down for the Yellow Jackets. Don't forget, stay tuned for the post-game wrap-up show where we will announce the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Player of the Game. I know you probably already have that picked because it's a long drive home. Well,
you do?
That's what you're supposed to do.
Okay.
So the Jackets keep the chains
you know
moving.
more than I do. That's all I was going to say.
Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd. Brandon?
Hey, I just want to make a comment real quick on the Walden Grove fans. You know, it's a 27-0, 6 minutes left in the game. It's going to be tough for Walden Grove to get back in the game, but it doesn't look like one person has left the stands. They're still hooting and hollering, rooting on their team. You got to hand it to their fans, because I got to tell you the truth, 27-0, I'd probably already be back home warmed up with a cold one.
All right, thank you, I think, Brandon, as indeed they have stuck around, but Jackets get a penalty, one of the few of the game for Blue Ridge, a false start penalty, going to back them up 5 yards, 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go, 0 for Walden Grove, 27 for the Yellow Jackets. That scoreboard update brought to you by Black Diamond Auto Glass.
Well, I think it's worth mentioning, Mike, that's a big change this game from the St. John's
Yes.
game where they had a ton of penalties, so I'm sure the coaches are pleased to see the execution improving in this game tonight.
Give it to Rosales, and Rosales is loose. He's at the 45 into Red Wolf territory at the 48-yard line. Pickup of 21 yards for Rosales. He's had huge numbers tonight.
Yes, he has.
They're just a sophomore, but he's done the job. And again, the Jackets running it inside the tackles.
Yep. And Rosales able to find those, you know, once he gets past that second level, he's been able to do a great job at just finding open space and taking full advantage of it. And as you said, Mike, it wouldn't surprise me if he's the leading rusher tonight, and he's been doing limited time.
The Horn Auto Center first down. Rosales gets the carry again. He goes off left tackle again with good yardage, 10 yards, 9 yards to be exact, just inside the 40-yard line. Going to bring up a second and short as the Jackets continue to put nails in the coffin, so to speak, with 5:35 to go.
Yeah, both in terms of just eating away at the clock with this running game, but also keeping the ball out of the hands, of course, from Walden Grove and allowing them any opportunity. I don't know, what have they had, 2 drives so far in the second half?
And,
that's
you know,
tough duty.
Brandon Todd talked a lot about the fatigue factor, and I think Walden Grove, they're continuing to give up yards as they continue to be more and more tired. Guys are on the side, having to take breaks on the sideline. Second and short, I-backs, and Preston Wilkening didn't like something. He calls a timeout. We will take it with them with 5:03 to go. Jackets on top, 27-0. You're listening to Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com.
Folks, Gentry Hatch here. Let's face it, in today's world, there are a lot of tools out there to help you buy a car. An iPhone, Kelley Blue Book, the list goes on and on.com. At Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and Show Low, we know that you can and will find the best deal for you. We will even help you find it if you don't happen to have a smartphone, which I believe everybody does. Remember, no hassle, no pressure, simply the best in service and sales. Hatch Motor Company in Snowflake and in Show Low, and online all the time at hatchmotorco.com.
Welcome back to Walden Grove High School. We're in the fourth quarter, 5 minutes and 3 seconds to go. Jackets on top 27-0. And we just found out during the break that Brandon Todd is very much like Donald Trump. I-backs in the backfield. Wilkening giving to the deep man Rosales, tripped up at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a yard, but is going to be just shy of the first down marker.
Well, I think we also found out that we were talking about the fatigue that Walden Grove is experiencing. I would offer that the same thing's happening to our sideline crew.
Undoubtedly. I know it's not hot down there, but all right, Jackets break the huddle. Send one receiver wide to the left. That's Alder. Everybody else in tight. 2 backs in the backfield to the right of Wilkening. Take the snap. Nobody home. Nice. Wilkening takes it himself, cuts it inside, and he has a first down. A Horn Auto Center first down to the Walden Grove 36-yard line. Jackets continue to roll.
And again, a nice read by Spencer Wilkening on that option, reading the end, defensive end, and able to cut up inside, seeing that big seam, and just smart play to keep this drive alive for the Jackets, eating the clock down.
Clock running, 4:15 to go in the contest. This could be the last drive for the Jackets tonight. Wilkening has done a great job of commanding the offense, was a little shaky throwing the ball to start off, but found his rhythm and has done a great job of running the veer option. as sprinklers have come on in the end zone to awaken the aforementioned tired Brandon Tots. Fumble on the play. Wilkening had troubles with the exchange with, I believe, Rosales. And, but he does, no, excuse me, that was Hebuck. But Wilkening recovers the fumble. It will be a loss on the play of 4 yards, though. Going to bring up 2nd and 14 for Blue Ridge. Clock running.
And execution-wise, Mike, you know, we talked about how that was one of the issues with Blue Ridge and struggling in that first game. And they've been pretty clean so far, just in terms of, I mean, that's one of the
haven't gone backwards a whole lot.
Yeah, and, you know, with that missed handoff, that's one of the few errors we've seen offensively from Blue Ridge tonight.
Jackets go with the single back set and another fumble, and the ball is loose, and Penrod has it. He picked it up. He's running with it, and will not get back to the line of scrimmage, though.
And I think I just cursed the Blue Ridge offense by
as looked like there was
how
a
well
little,
they executed, and 2 fumbles back-to-back on just bad exchanges between center and quarterback.
So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 17 now. A little extracurricular as the defensive lineman taking the advantage of the fact that Wilkening was on the ground. And my guess is Blue Ridge is just going to run the same play. Clock is the issue here. 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go in this one. They'll get at least this play off and then one more. We'll see if Walden Grove elects to call a timeout as the Jackets break the huddle, send Alder wide left. Jones in the slot left. Entrican, the A-back. Penrod, the lone back in the backfield. Wilkening takes a snap, fakes it to Penrod, turns it up on the left side, and falls forward, and he's going to be almost back to the original line of scrimmage. He does get back. Picks up 7 on the play, but it is going to bring up 4th down and 10. Blue Ridge, should you just go for it here?
Why not? You know, you've got the lead, and certainly in a position here where if you get the 1st down, you can pretty much close out the game. And if for some reason they're not able to get the gain. Now, what happened to the...
They're going to punt it. 4th down. They might take a delay of game penalty here. With 1:40 to go in the contest, Timmy Entrican out there to do the punting duties for Blue Ridge, and they're just going to take a delay of game penalty, back it up to about the 41-yard line of Walden Grove and give them a little more room to punt. So we'll just sit here and wait, and there is the penalty flag. Our white hat, he forgot that he's got a microphone. Oh wait, here he comes. Let's see if he gives us the call. No, we still didn't get him. It's hard. You got to have 2 switches on that microphone, and he's not a 2-switch guy. Yeah, not a 2-switch guy. So after the delay of game penalty, the Red Wolves are going to send back deep Andre Aguirre to return this punt from Entrican, who stands in his own territory about the 46-yard line. Snap. Punt is away. It's a low line drive angle to the far sideline. It will go out of bounds. No, it stays in bounds. Takes a Blue Ridge bounce. It's like a foul ball that spins back inside. And the Jackets will down it about the 21-yard line. Red Wolves will have it 1st and 10 from there. 1:12 to go. Jackets on top, 27-0. That's your scoreboard update brought to you by Black Diamond Auto Glass.
Actually, it looks like they're going to put them down around the 15.
Yeah, sorry.
Maybe the 16. But regardless, a long field for the Walden Grove.
Jackets will play prevent defense here, I'm sure. Walden Grove may take a knee. Guerrero has his play call. Relays that information to the line. Has 3 receivers left. Joseph's going to stay in the backfield to his right. In shotgun formation. Now move him to the left. Does have 1 receiver to the far side of the field. Take the snap. Looking to pass. It's a quick one. It's batted down by Nick Baker. One of the nose guards for the Yellow Jackets. Gets his mitts on it. Falls incomplete.
Great rush by Baker. Just attacking that middle and then seeing the quarterback set his feet, jumps up with those long arms and able to bat it down. Good defensive play.
So we'll bring up 2nd down and 10. A lot of room in the middle of the field should Walden Grove send receivers there. Of course, then it's hard to stop the clock. So a lot of time taken to get the play in. 1 receiver here to the near sideline, 1 to the right. Walden Grove going to put some more protection in with 2 tight ends. Kilgore and Rojas, the backs behind Guerrero. Take the snap. Give it to Rojas, and he's still trying to get to the outside. Tried the middle, nothing doing there. Bounce it to the outside, and is tackled there on the
number 80, Coy London, coming up from his inside linebacker position to make that tackle. Just a great job hanging on, and we've seen Rojas break many tackles tonight, so just to be able to hang on after the contact, good job by London.
Boy, London, a key factor of the Yellow Jacket defense last year.
Right, as a sophomore.
Right, but with Lane Penrod returning, has seen playing time diminish a bit. Same formation for Guerrero. He looks to pass. Looking deep over the middle. Now flush, throws it, and it's incomplete. Intended for Chapman. Pass falls incomplete. Going to bring up third down now. No, excuse me. Going to bring up 4th down and 9. And 21.5 seconds to go in this one. And Red Wolves going to punt this away. And wouldn't be surprised if the officials just don't blow it dead, let the clock run out, and that'll be the ball game.
That would be nice.
Nice for us. Don't forget to stay tuned for the post-game wrap-up show where we will announce the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport Player of the Game along with the Beeler Orthodontics Straight Line Play of the Game. Both those will be brought to you by Punt Cooley.
A homework assignment.
Well, yeah. It's a short one, though, because you only have about a 3-minute break to get that figured out.
All right.
Red Wolves in punt formation. The snap, the punt, it's off. It's a low end-over-ender that nobody back for Blue Ridge. And it's going to be down at the 41-yard line, and they blow it dead with 11.6 seconds. So the Jacket offense will have to come out one more time to take a knee, and that will do it. 27-0 our score. Jackets on top, and a lot of question marks, Punt, after week 1 for the Yellow Jackets coming away with just an 8-6 victory over St. John's. And then you looked at this Walden Grove team who beat Empire last week in a triple overtime thriller, but put 38 points up.
Right.
So got to feel good if you're on the Blue Ridge coaching staff.
Well, obviously defensively they got to be feeling really good, because Walden Grove showing the ability to put up points, and they just completely stifled them. I mean, Walden Grove did have some drives where it looked like they might be able to score, but the big ultimate key is that they were able to shut them down.
And that's going to do it here from Walden Grove High School. Our final score, Yellow Jackets 27, the Red Wolves 0. This has been Hatch Motor Company's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. We'll be back with the post-game wrap-up show right after this.
There's no better time to visit Horn Auto Center. Check out the all-new Chevy Silverado. Voted 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Strong for all the roads ahead. Or find new roads with the all-new Corvette Stingray. Voted the 2014 North American Car of the Year. Visit Horn Auto Center on the Deuce of Clubs in Sholo across from Safeway and at hornauto.com. You're at home with Horn since 1991.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Need a fireplace? Ace has that. Need barbecue grills? Ace has that. Need paint? Ace is the best place for that. Need a chainsaw or weed eater? Ace has that too. Ace can even fix your chainsaw and your weed eater. Ace Hardware has everything you need for your home improvement project. They even have a 24/7 locksmith. Locked out of your home or car? Their mobile unit will come to you. That's your helpful place. Ace Hardware of the White Mountains in Pinetop, Overguard, and Sholo.
In today's challenging economy, having a college education is a must. Northland Pioneer College is here to help you prepare for your future. NPC is committed to providing you with the highest quality education with the lowest tuition cost in the state. We offer a variety of advanced learning classes to prepare you for a transfer or associate's degree, personal interest education, or earning your GED.
Contact an academic advisor for more information. Go online at npc.edu.
Sunrise Park Resort is now open every Friday to Monday through Labor Day weekend. Bring the family for a full day of fun and activities, including scenic cliff rides, mountain biking and bike rentals, tube slide, airbag jump, and more. Book your reservation at the Sunrise Hotel with beautiful views of the lake and mountain, or rent a boat at the Sunrise Lake Marina. And make sure you visit our general store for all your camping and fishing needs. For more information, please call 928-735-7669 or visit our website at sunriseskipark.com.
Welcome back to the post-game wrap-up show on iTalk 106.7 and on the web at iTalk1067.com. We have an iTalk exclusive for you this evening. I believe it'll be the first time ever. Coach Bob London on the radio. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Brandon Todd, with Coach London. Brandon?
Yeah, I had to bribe him, but I got him here. I got Coach London with the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, the victorious Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. An impressive 27-0 win. Coach, give me your thoughts on the game.
Well, we just wanted to come down and minimize mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes in our first game. Our boys play hard, and they play hard again tonight, and we just cut back on mistakes and played pretty well.
Speaking of last game, you're only able to put up 8 points on St. John's last game and come out this game. Obviously, you had a week rest. You put up 27 against, I would consider, a tougher Walden Grove team. Tell me, what was the success this week compared to the last week?
Well, I think after the St. John's game, we did some self-evaluation, and we realized that we made a lot of mistakes. Our attitudes when things went against us weren't the greatest, so we had to adjust some things, and I think our kids responded well.
You go to practice next week. What are you working on?
Same thing we work on every day, blocking, tackling, the basics.
Coach, I appreciate your time.
You bet. Thank you.
Safe travels back up.
Thank you.
Mike?
All right, thank you very much, Brandon. And we've been missing out on interviews for many years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Some words of wisdom from Coach London, and thank him for joining us on here on the post-game wrap-up show. And it was a good night for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets punt. They really did what they wanted to do. You talked about in the Ace Hardware keys of the game to start things off, to control the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
They did that. The run, I mean, with not a huge line, as Blue Ridge lines have been in the past. Same result though. They did a great job. Pretty much got positive yards on every run play tonight.
Well, and the real killer, is not only does Blue Ridge, it's nothing fancy, especially in the day and age of the spread offense and all the flash and bang that comes with it. It's just 3 yards in a cloud of dust stuff, but they put points on the board more than the opponent. It may not be a ton of points. Sometimes it is, but maybe not always. But more importantly, they just control the ball and do not give their opponent many opportunities to mount anything offensively. And that certainly played out in spades tonight for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. Walden Grove just, they had a few drives where it looked like they might score, but just not able to really even possess the ball, especially in that second half.
Well, my guess is you will see the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets continue to improve week after week. Punt, let's talk a little bit about let's talk about the Beeler Orthodontics straight line play of the game. That's Beeler Orthodontics. Live to smile. Love your smile. We talked about it off air, and I think you hit it on the head. What do you think is the Beeler Orthodontics straight line play of the game?
Well, I think the one play that really just changed the kind of the momentum, or at least the tenor of the game for Walden Grove, that was just kind of the nail in the coffin, was that right before the first half ended, Blue Ridge calling that timeout where Walden Grove was down deep in Blue Ridge in territory, and they brought the kicking team out to try to kick the field goal just to try to put some points on the board. Blue Ridge smartly defensively calling the timeout, and I'm sure they talked about getting a rush to see if they could try to block that field goal, and in fact did so. So not only the blocked field goal, which in and of itself isn't necessarily a huge play, but that did allow Blue Ridge to then push down the field with that passing game. and put some points on the board. And that, I think, just mentally, psychologically, that's just a steamroller for some teams, and certainly played out to be the case tonight for Blue Ridge. It's just a huge momentum shift.
Could have been 14-3 at half. Instead,
Right.
it ends up 20-0 as Blue Ridge
Right.
does go down and score. So that is your Beeler Orthodontics straight line play of the game. The blocked field goal, I believe it was Nick Baker who got through and blocked that one for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. And speaking of Nick Baker, we also need to talk about the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game. The player of the game is brought to you by the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store. For the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, camping gear on the mountain, go to the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store south of Pine Top on Highway 260. And Punt, talk about some of the Yellow Jackets who you felt were big contributors to tonight's contest.
Well, I got to tell you, one kid we talked about a lot tonight that's really impressive. One of their younger players, Luis Rosales, number 19 for Blue Ridge, just a sophomore. We saw him break off some big runs. We're not keeping stats tonight, but I wouldn't surprise me if he was the leading rusher of the game because of his success when he's able to break through the line of scrimmage and find that second, third level. Just a great runner. So certainly he's a bright spot for this Blue Ridge team moving forward. You got to give props to him. And then the senior, Tristan Johnson, we saw him break some runs defensively, playing out of that safety position.
Didn't play as much in the second half. I don't know if there was a little bang up there or something, but
probably didn't need to, with the way Rosales was running, and they were in a position where they didn't need to grind him out, recognizing there's a long season ahead. But even with the time he played, I think he just showed some really aggressive running and had a great game. And Wilkening, the quarterback tonight, after that rough start, certainly not all his fault against St. John's by any means, but for him to recover, just a junior, he had a little bit of playing time towards the end of the season last year as a sophomore, but just to mentally recover and just really lead his offense tonight in great fashion, I thought. And we saw him execute that 2-minute game right before the end of the first half with that passing game, threw some great balls. Certainly a great game for him tonight. But I think when you look overall, it's really hard to look past the performance of Lane Penrod, number 21, their senior leader. Defensively, he's just a stud, and he showed that tonight. He's tough inside. He's a smart player. That one play that I thought really shined for him, we saw that little screen play. I don't know if you remember where Walden Grove was trying to get a drive and it looked like they needed a first down, and he read that perfectly and really shut down that screenplay. It just shows how smart, and his instincts are great. So defensively, you're not going to find many better players at this division in the state, I feel, than Lane Penrod. And then we saw him in the backfield tonight, offensively hit some big runs, and just a really aggressive, hard-nosed runner that really was a huge factor, I think, offensively for Blue Ridge tonight. So I think overall, when you consider his defensive production and his offensive production, Lane Penrod certainly deserving a player of the game tonight.
All right, thank you. As Blue Ridge pitches a shutout, got to recognize their captain on defense, Blaine Penrod, the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store player of the game. Also have some other players of the game, and that's the students from White Mountain Youth Productions and Sholo TV from Sholo and Snowflake High Schools. Technical Director Sky Perez on audio and graphics, Isaiah Miller. Main camera, Zach Davis. Field cameras, Dominic Stem, Hunter Marsh, and Shane Bubion. Advisor, Jerry Butler from Sholo High School, and, of course, Mel West from Sholo TV. So great job by those guys. If you want to help get these guys on to further in their education, they have contests, they have competitions that they go to. You can contact the school to help with financial donations for those kids. So for a great job. Also want to thank Subway for being a sponsor of tonight's contest, along with Octopus Car Wash, Summit Regional Medical Center as well. Final thoughts, Pun, as we wrap up the post-game wrap-up show here from Walden Grove High School. Looking forward, Blue Ridge got to be feeling pretty good about themselves.
Well, I think that's the big message, after that rough start against St. John's and everyone. And we don't mean to make it sound like Blue Ridge was expected to just roll over St. John's. Let's be honest. St. John's can produce some great football teams, so it wasn't like a sure deal for them. But everyone felt like it was just it was just a really rough start to a season. And you expect some rough edges on the first game of the season, but I think the big message, the big reflection here, and we heard Coach London talk about it, is just the improvement this go around against a pretty solid Walden Grove, at least athletically, a very solid team. And for them to, as you say, pitch the shutout and improve offensively so much better this time with the 27-0 victory. If you're a Blue Ridge fan, you got to be feeling really good about that.
Undoubtedly, we'll see the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets in a couple of weeks. But next week, right here on iTalk 106.7, it'll be the Snowflake Lobos hosting the Fountain Hills Falcons live on the iTalk 106.7 Game of the Week. You can see it here. Pregame will start at 6:45. I want to thank everybody who helped out with our broadcast, made the long trip down here to Sarita. Start with our technical producer, Ron Everingham, the TV crew we already mentioned. Mick, the Mick Dog, back at the studio, taking care of us there. For our sideline reporter, what was that guy's name? Brandon
Yeah.
Todd. Our effects mic guy, Corbin Everingham. Got Ron Everingham already for my sidekick. I don't know if I can call you a sidekick because you're kind of the man.
No, I
but
don't
for
know
our
about
color
that.
commentator tonight, Punt Cooley, I am Mike Granillo saying good night, and we will see you next week from Snowflake High School.